I love it all, dude. Fucking delicious.
I ran out of my Free State, which is a Kansas beer. That's actually pretty damn good.
All right, moving on to the guest.
Like, what's going on here?
Yes, I win.
Mr. Gerry, the party pooper.
This is a Charlie Foxtrot show right now, man.
Clusterfuck as a motherfucker. Dude, yeah, former Army medic, comic book artist. How you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little about yourself and your comic book?
I work for Dale Dye. He's a famous Marine that works in Hollywood.
You really gonna hang on to that accent the whole time?
Fuck you! I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Right?
You're not the boss of me.
Fuck you, Adam.
No, I've been doing the art thing for a long time, since the 80s, and I was mid-career technically. I started working at 22, and I was coming up on 26. I was an artist for a magazine, a national magazine, and I was their lead artist, making good money. But I was so unhappy, and I just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go join the Army. And because I got one of those letters that said I was no longer eligible for selective services. And I was like, I was bereft. I was depressed. I'm like, what? I figured I'd get drafted. A war would break out. Every member of my family has been drafted except me. So I'm like, I guess I'm going to join. And it was like one of those Stripes moments. One of my best friends goes, you're too old. You're like 26. You're damn near 30. I'm like, I'm not 30. I'm in great shape. I play pro ball because I played for Farm League baseball. I was athletic. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to go. So I quit my job. My publishers will tell you to this day, they've never understood why I did that. But I needed it. I needed the Army to kick my ass and change me a little bit because I wasn't happy with who I was. And got there and I tried to hide that I was an artist. And there's this one black kid that like walked up to me one day. His name was Chandler. His last name, I don't know what his first name was. He walked up to me and he goes, Batman. And I'm like, because I was already working for comic books too. And I was like freaked out that he said that to me. And I'm like, I didn't want anybody to know what I did because I knew I'd get fucked with. So I looked at him and, what do you mean by that? He goes, you look like Michael Keaton, Batman. Like that. And I'm like, you're trying to say I have lips like Michael Keaton? Why are you looking at my lips? The fuck is wrong with you? And for like months, because I went through basic and AIT with this guy. And finally, the last day of AIT, I called him over because I was squad leader. And he was in my squad. And I called him over. And it was like one of my happiest moments in the Army. Here we are. We're about to leave. I'll never see this guy again. I called him over and he stood up, and I'm a giant guy. I'm 6'3". And I looked down at him and he says, yes. And I went, I want you to tell your friends about me. His eyes lit up and he goes, who are you? And I went, I'm Batman. And I picked him up by the lapels of his Class A uniform and I threw him. And he took off. The last image I had of him was him running away, pointing back at me, going, he's Batman. He's Batman. Never saw him again. Never heard from him again. That was a great memory. But I left the military to raise my kid because I married a female soldier, not just a soldier. You got to be careful saying that. I married a soldier.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
You know, they go, oh, how progressive of you. No.
Don't ask, don't tell.
So I married this female medic and we had a kid. She didn't want a kid. So a determination was made that she would continue active duty and I would go into the reserves in, IRR, like Robin Williams. RR. And I continued raising my kid. And but as time went by, I regretted not staying in the military, but I had another kid. And once again, I raised her all by myself and I couldn't go back active duty because, you can't retain custody when you're active. If you didn't know that, if you're a single parent, you can't. So it messed me up. And so I just continued pushing the medical field until the art career took off. And I'd been working for comics since the 80s in magazines. And then I worked as an ad agency artist, which was fun. I did a lot of artwork for Rockwell International and several other major clients. But in 2008, the economy took a big old dump, right? Remember that shit? Went into that recession.
That was right before I got out. Good timing on my part.
One of the most, I'm trying to think of the best way of phrasing this. One of the clearest ways of determining if you're in a down economy is if the creatives are the first to go. And every company was letting creatives go. I lost my job. And I was in my 40s, late 40s, in fact. And I lost my job. And I'm like, oh, shit. This is bad. This is a rough time to be changing your career. But luckily, a fellow Marine and Army veteran, because he was one of those dual service guys, and a buddy of mine, we had opened a company together, ran a company with Dale Dye, John M. Del Vecchio, New York Times bestselling author of The 13th Valley, one of the greatest Vietnam War books ever written. We all teamed up and made a company called Charlie Foxtrot Entertainment. And we created one graphic novel. I created one graphic novel, code word Geronimo, under that. And we were supposed to shoot a film and didn't work. The company folded. Made me mad because I wanted to win an award and have somebody have to give it to me and say, and now winner is Charlie Foxtrot Entertainment, because every veteran in the world would be laughing, going, that's clusterfuck entertainment. Ah! But it wasn't meant to be. We're still all friends. And I still work for Dale Dye. I'm his lead artist. And it's the closest thing to a job I've had. And I've been with him for 20 years. But I like doing independent graphic novels. And I was forced, after losing my job, to do freelance because nobody's going to hire a 50-year-old graphic artist, when they can get somebody right out of college for half the pay that knows how to do pretty much everything I know how to do, just doesn't have the years experience. They don't care. So my career was over, and I had to figure out what to do, and graphic novels is the way to go. I don't want to do comics. I never have, because who wants a 30-day turnaround on a book? That shit's crazy. And I'm too old for that shit. And I'm also intolerant of people. People who know me personally know I'm a dick. And I am intolerant of stupidity. And in publishing and in film, because I work in both industries, there's a lot of stupid people. Just a plethora of stupid people.
Well, and it's gotten even worse. Isn't that great?
Oh, my God, dude. And I'm cautious opening my mouth around people because even though they've tried to cancel me twice and failed because I don't care, you can't cancel somebody who doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. That's the way we all need to be now.
Is that I got attacked by a bunch of Zack Snyder fans, and I don't care. I still like Zack Snyder. I just didn't like what he did with a friend of mine. And people tried to cancel me because I said, hey, I made a comment about his daughter committing suicide. And I said, well, it's pretty common for kids that were raised in households of anarchists, people who lived like he did. He was religiously anarchist. And I'm like, they don't teach their kids how to be centered and how to have a life. They just teach them that there's nothing in the world. And so of course she felt that way, but the way I phrased it wasn't very nice. And I got attacked, and I ended up being interviewed by somebody from NPR about it. And she pretty much got the idea pretty quickly. I don't give a shit, because somebody wrote me and said, did you say this? I said, yes. And I said that. Oh my God. And I said that too. Oh shit. Everything I'm saying. I don't care. It's like,
real quick, let's highlight this. Mad says, since you skipped it, no, Mad, we saw it.
We didn't skip it. It's highlighted. I was
this
waiting for
guy can't even spell his own name correct, but that tracks with him being a pog. Mad, I just want to say
I am not a pogue.
No, medics are not pogues. We love our medics.
I just want to, Matt, I want to say this for the record, real quick. Matt, this is why everybody hates you. It was said on the stream once before.
Matt knows I love him.
I know I'm giving mad crap. And Wookie Be Bad says for $20. Thank you so much, Wookie Be Bad. Jeremy, drink. Shot.
All right, start things off right with Wookie Be Bad. Thank you very much. You just start things so you get this.
It has begun.
Cheers to you, Wookie Be Bad. Yeah, Madden's very impatient. He's pulled that shit before.
Matt can wait.
Well, yeah, that's why everybody hates him.
Because 10 years ago, I started Vindicated.
Nobody
and
asked
Vindicated
you, woman. You're last of the fucking line. Like the gay guys before you.
You know, our guest
She
is
still
talking.
has a dick.
Our guest was talking.
It's okay. I don't know.
Shh.
You started, dude. You started. Not you, Gerry. Her.
So,
She's horrible.
10 years ago, I started Vindicated.
Wait, pull it back up.
It was
I hate Gerry for having a small penis and not knowing how to give head.
That's half of that is true. Yeah, it's up to you to figure out which half. So, I basically had this great book idea in my head. I wanted to do it, but I ran into some issues because, like I said, my career had ended one way, and I had to start doing it the other way. And so I had to struggle raising a kid by myself to pay the bills, and I had to put Vindicated on the back burner to come back to it to finish it on another day. 10 years later, we hit the writer's strike this year, and it killed my career again. And there's nothing like going 6 months without a paycheck. And I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? I'm, living on fumes, and I'm like, gotta do something. And I'm like, now's the time, pull the trigger. And I went, oh, that's a good idea, Gerry. Why don't you do that? And I did. So that's when I launched the campaign to start doing this book again. I want to finish it. I've got 91 pages already done. The entire book will be 155 pages long. And 22 of those will be a flashback sequence drawn by another fellow veteran, Richard Bonk, who is a DC Marvel comic artist friend of mine. We've worked together on multiple projects previously. I love his work. He's doing the flashback, and because it's a flashback, it doesn't have to be drawn like me, like my style. I have a very realistic style. He has more of a comic book style. So I thought that would be the one way we could get away with doing something with another artist in the book, is to have them do the flashback. So Richard's going to draw that. That's a major portion of this campaign, is to pay him. And we're not there yet, but I'm hoping we'll get there soon so I can get him started on the book. And the book is my love song to every combat veteran or warrior, as I phrase it in the book. Every warrior who left a piece of themselves on the battlefield or brought a piece of the battlefield home with them. And the main character, what?
Yeah, and I love the premise. Yeah, Jesse was explaining this to me. It's very unique. That he's a disabled combat vet, right?
Yeah, he is at the VA. The first chapter, in fact, the first and third chapters are available for free. Scroll down on that page, and you'll see the alternate cover. There, right below that, you'll see two highlighted blue links. God judges his heroes by their scars is chapter 1, and chapter 3, a leg to stand on. Yes, I'm being verbally ironic with the name of the chapter.
This is a Mark the Cyborg type. I'm guessing.
Yes, it is.
I like titles that mean something, that have something in connection with the chapter. And that is the chapter you learn that he's going around doing his shit on a prosthetic leg, battling these bad guys, and he's kicking the shit out of them. Those are the two chapters I feel that show you the most without giving away the story. And that's why I made those two available. So people will have something to gauge whether this is going to be their thing. I also want to point out that Mike Barron and Chuck Dixon are hailing this story as one of the best comic books they've ever read. And it is gritty and real. It's not superhero shit. I wanted to do a realistic hero based on a real person. In fact, the entire thing was kind of based on an argument I had, or a discussion that I had with two fellow veterans about how Batman and the Punisher would exist in the real world. And I said they wouldn't, because they would be caught very quickly. Because they both leave paper trails. I said, you get a tier 1 operator who knows how to work independently, would absolutely get every weapon and all his money from criminals. He would rob them, kill them, rob them, and use their ill-gained money for good. And nobody would know where the fuck he is. I mean, Bruce Wayne, everything's coming from Wayne Enterprises. How is he not going to get caught? And the bad guys even know that the Punisher, or the cops, I should say, know, the FBI and anybody that's a bad guy that wants to kill him knows he's Frank Castle. This guy has to be completely unknown. And so I said, the only one I believe that could be capable of doing that is a tier 1 operator. So that's what he is. He's Delta Force, 75th Ranger Regiment. He's gets his leg blown off in combat when a member of the Afghani Special Forces team that they're co-op with go into a village, and one of them sets off an IED that blows one of his legs off. And I try to show it without being too graphic. I show all the violence. I just try not to be overly gratuitous, because that would be one of the first things people complain about. Well, I think it's being gratuitous with the violence. So I'm not. I'm trying to be artistic with it. The book is in black and white, even though the covers are fully color. All pinups are fully color. But the internal comic art is black and white, because we tried to color them. And God damn it, it doesn't look right. It loses something when you color it. It softens the images. And I wanted that hard, stark, noir feel to it. And I just wrote, I didn't sleep much the last 2 days because I've been heavily editing and writing. And I just wrote the build-up scene for the transitional scene from Act 2 to Act 3, which leads to him weaponizing a 1969 GTO. And that's all I'm going to say.
Weaponizes
a fucking
I like the sound of that.
car.
Oh yeah,
I like the sound of that.
He compared
This comic seems, or a book, it seems epic, man.
It looks really good. Yeah.
Play the
so
trailer,
fucking
dude.
cool.
By the way, those are the quotes I was talking about right there by Chuck Dixon and Mike Barron.
Meet the Seattle vid.
yeah, these ones right here.
Yeah.
Let me I'll refresh the page and they'll pop back up.
Okay, while we wait for that, I'm gonna highlight
You can actually see
Big
it better
Rob,
below.
who's a fellow medic, 75th Ranger Regiment.
Oh, he's gonna like this. That's the
Dropping
hero.
a 40 over on the Rumble side. Says, welcome, fellow medic. Buddy of mine did graphic art / stories for us on deployment. Nice work. Drink up, you scoundrels. Hell yeah, dude. And that does mean full shot right here. And let's see. Since Dermy's here, Dermy hasn't even been here for a while, but we're gonna mushroom stamp Dermy on the fucking head. Cheers to you, Big Rob.
That's right.
By the way, I
That's-
have that clip of Gal hailing the pickles.
Yes. Let's play that real quick.
Impatient much, Dermy?
Hmm?
Are you impatient for it to be seen?
Maybe a little bit. Because I may or may not have edited it a little bit, just saying.
You are such a hold on. Hold on. You edited it? Really?
I edited it, yeah.
Edited
How'd you
it.
edit?
All right, let's just see it. Let's just see it.
Edited it.
Gal pickles, that is accurate. Gal pickles, that
Back
is
it- Oh.
Oh my God.
Zikael.
Play that again. Listen to her.
Everyone was saying it.
Gal
pickles, that is accurate. Gal pickles,
Yeah, but you-
that is accurate. I know.
Yeah.
You did. She argued with me. She's like, "Well, what did I do? I didn't
No,
do
I
that.
didn't.
I did the." No, you said.
Oh,
Good.
No, Oh,
I
drunk
Big
one.
Al, Pickle
I just
Hitler.
didn't know that I did it because I talk with my hands all the time and we were arguing. So I didn't.
You said hail
I
pickle
said,
while giving the salute.
The pickle nation
Zig Al, Pickle Hitler.
What, woman? What are you doing? What are you doing? Do
I
you
felt
just like? Do you see the barrier and you run headfirst into it? Is it because they put a cherry crayon on it? Good
I don't
Lord.
like cherry. Green
I
apples.
love-
Good.
I loved how I just had a YouTube Yahtzee music and I found something that worked.
That was really good, dude. That was really good.
all right. Back to the book. Let's check out this trailer.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's see.
It's getting low res for some reason.
It should be okay as soon as we start playing it. Yeah, we should be okay. Yeah, we're 1080.
For some reason, it's blurring. It bugs me.
Well, it has to buffer.
The Seattle Vigilante. Like so many comic heroes, this warrior hides his identity. But his identity isn't the only secret he has to keep. After grievous wounds received during combat, Tier 1 operator John Russell begins to recover and comes to terms with his new reality of being an amputee. And as he learns how to use his new prosthetic limb, he finds himself caught up in the bureaucratic red tape that too many wounded veterans experience, the exhausting medboard process. Out of sheer frustration, John takes it out on the criminal scum of the city. But when reality kicks in, John realizes he started something that's having an impact on the greater world around him, and thus has to reevaluate his motives. And moreover, just how far is John willing to go to finish this war he's declared against the criminals in Seattle? And will he even survive? From the creator of IDW's award-winning graphic novel Code Word Geronimo comes a new story about a different kind of warrior, Vindicated, Inc., the first of its kind disabled veteran action hero comic. The Vindicated, Inc. graphic novel crowdfunding campaign on fundmycomic.com is provided in the description of this video. We hope you become a contributor. Please share this link. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Well, I
I'm
came
so
in late
grateful to
there.
Tom for doing that from Midnight's Edge.
I was about
my
to ask,
boss.
was that Tom?
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
Tom.
Yes, yes, it
Originally,
is.
Dale Dye was scheduled to do this, the voiceover, and he got sick as shit. He got one of the recent bugs and lost his voice. So Tom jumped in, just offered to do it. And I'm like, thank you, dude. Thank you. Because I didn't know what it's going to do. Because I didn't want to do the voiceover because it's weird. It's weird touting your own book. I feel weird doing that. But anyway, Tom did it. And there's a photo of my daughter and me. She is I was drawing Vindicated. That's a drawing of Vindicated. And my little girl's giving me the side eye. She's the reason why I do so much, because I love doing creation. She's an artist. All my kids, all three of my children are artists. And she is just so different from me because I'm an illustrator. She, on the other hand, is actually doing like art. Everything is symbolic, and I just love it.
Nice.
And my two sons are illustrators like me, sculptors and writers. So, but I also shared a screen because I wanted to show you something.
I would say creation's
I don't have very many photos left from the military due to a divorce, but this is one of my favorites right here. Me in the barracks reading variations.
I applaud this. Yeah. Yeah.
I made $25 off of that, renting it out to people during training.
Oh,
Dude.
no.
You can tell which one's me. I'm the giant.
I don't know which tour it was, but I mean, we went on a training deployment somewhere at some point, and I made my bed, and then I felt something underneath, and it was a fucking porno. The people, this is like temporary barracks. Like, yo, I just found fucking gold. Somebody let me.
I know that's like money, man. You found money.
And I was just happy none of the pages were sticky.
Oh yeah.
I bought on the flight to basic training let's say just an import tuner magazine, and trust me, it got me through many times in basic training.
Well,
because
they
the ladies
look for that
were
shit
very
too. You got to be careful.
well, I know because they locked our stuff up, right?
In the personal locker, but if you're smart, because here's the idiots in the barracks would do stupid shit like hide it behind the foot locker, One idiot, because we had the metal bunk beds, they lifted it up and put shit down into the pipe of the bunk bed. They got busted. Some guys put it up in the drop ceiling. I'm like, don't do that. I went into the bathroom there. We went to boot at Fort Leonard Wood, and they had showers.
That's where I was at, Fort Leonard Wood.
Okay,
That's
you know
where
the tiled bathroom near the showers. At the end of that, down at the bottom, all of them are designed this way. Those old barracks have a vent. That vent comes out, and it's hollow inside.
Yeah,
and I put all my porn and food in there. I never got busted, not once. You got to be smarter than the drill instructors.
Yeah.
By the way, this one is one of my favorites from boot. I got the expert grenade badge during boot. You can't do that. You can get marksman. I got expert, and here's why. The guy heard that I was a pro ball player in Virginia. I played for Fredericksburg, and he's like, guys tell me you can hit anything. I said, I'm pretty accurate, because that was a game we'd play. Name something, and I'll hit it with a rock. And if I hit it, you got to pay me money. I love that game. And so they told this sergeant that was the head of the grenade lane. And so he's like, I'll tell you what, you get that grenade inside that 2.5 window, in that 1 split second you got to aim, I'll give you the day off. I'll sign you off. You can get the fuck out of here. I went, okay. So you know how you do it. You squat down, you get your hands together like this, pull pin, extend arm, stand, release, and then you got to drop, right? I drop down and I hear everybody go, shit, fuck, god damn. And I jump back up. I said, did I get in the window? And the dude just signed it off, handed it to me. I heard one of my buddies go, dude, you took the dummy's head off inside the truck. Well, yeah, of course I did. I couldn't have done that again if I tried.
Wait, Gal in the truck? Why was Gal in the truck?
So at graduation, this guy
so-
calls me out of
Here's
formation
crayons.
when we're getting ready to leave, all going to the next training, next phase. He calls me out in front of everybody and awards me this pen. And
Nice.
that was really
Dude, clearly something's changed since you were in, because the grenade range, you'd have to be really bad if you didn't get expert. Like everyone in my basic train had that, except for like a couple of people.
marksman was what everybody got when I was in. Expert came later when you're able to fire, like train with the rocket propelled.
Yeah,
there's none of that. Like it's an obstacle course that we had. I mean, maybe everything's different. It's an entire obstacle. I can't remember how many events it is, but it's different ways that you had to deploy the grenade. You had to roll in and throw it into a window. You had to do just a multitude of different things. And your base is basically
what is this, Die Hard?
Yeah, no, dude, that's what we had to do. Like there was the one where you had to there was a fucking bunker that had a window, and it was at crouching level, and you had to roll to the side so that you're not seen, throw it in, roll away, and get behind in time for it to go off. That was it's all pass or fail, and they were all events like that. Different ways to deploy the grenade, and it's all pass or fail. So my point is, like, if you fucking failed enough that you didn't get expert, somehow you're really fucked up, because everyone got fucking expert.
No, that's not a thing that happened when I was in the military, in the army.
We were in around the same time. I mean, maybe it's just based on different. I was in from 2000. I went to basic training in 2000 at Fort Sill, so maybe it's just different bases. I don't know.
It must be. I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
I'm not lying, dude. That's what we did.
I'm not saying you're lying. Easy, dude. Oh my God, Jesus! Like, did you grow a vagina all of a sudden? Just kidding.
You're so salty.
I'm not salty.
Our vaginas.
Yeah, you are. You're kind of triggered.
Well, we learned last night that vaginas can smell like quiche.
Yes, we did learn that last night.
So you do remember some things.
I remember that. I just don't remember I don't remember fucking Devil's Stream at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I remember the one smelling like strawberries once.
Sorry, go ahead, Gary.
It's okay. Scott's outside asking me if I want some pizza, and I'm telling him no.
Yeah, I love how
I just had my dinner before doing the show, and I'm stuffed. But here's a cool picture. I can't remember everybody's name from. In fact, I remember this guy is just simply calling him Angry Eyebrows. He had the angriest eyebrows. Gulak was my buddy. JT was this guy that would wake me up because I was already a medic when I came into the Army. I was an EMT. And he would wake me up. Man, my arm would sleep. My arm went to sleep. Did I have a stroke? I went, no, you fucking slept on it funny. Go back to bed and leave me alone. And this guy's name was Freddy Credura, but you guessed it. That was what he was called, as Freddy Krueger. And he was our fact guy. He collected information for the drill sergeants. That female drill instructor was a bitch.
I had one like that too. In fact, well, it was in basic training. I had a black male and a black female, and she was. You could tell when she was on her period.
Well, they also feel one, reservists. She was a reservist. Two, she was a female. And so they always feel like they got to be meaner than the male instructors. And so they're constantly on your shit.
We had one we called the chicken lady. She looked like her fucking hair was like this weird curly fucking thing, and she was not mean at all. You could tell like she did not want to be a drill sergeant. You can tell like in real she was the fucking sweetheart. But yeah, nobody was fucking intimidated by her.
This guy, that was Teddy. He was a gangbanger, and he was involved in a shooting and fled New York to go in the Army. I told everybody, keep away from him. This is an open base.
Pull that chat up again.
Go anywhere near him. You might get shot.
Pull that chat back up.
And then there's me, the giant. I'm bigger than everybody.
That female drill sergeant was a bitch, but I fucked her anyways.
Here.
No. We had another reservist that showed up, and he heard I was older than everybody. I was a squad leader, and I don't know what it was. That's me and my late ex-wife. She passed away, cancer. And that was my best friend in the Army, Julio. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. That's Dave Hope, my sergeant.
With the old gray PTs. Those are getting phased out when I went to basic training. We were actually the first company to get issued the new PTs. All the older classes all had those grays. That was the last.
So fuck you, dude. I had the grays. It wasn't until AIT I got issued the fucking new ones.
Yeah. When did you join? What year?
I literally joined.
You went to basic when?
I actually September 4th, 2003 I shipped out. A month
but you got the grays?
I got the fucking grays. We all did. We didn't have that.
I went in 2000 and they're already bringing up the new shit.
Yeah, because you're sucking somebody's penis. And sucks dick.
Yeah, that's really how it works. That's how it works.
I don't know. I'm just saying, dude. I got photos. Do you got photos? I got photos of the great PTs, bitch.
I'm not saying you're lying. I'm saying that's fucking weird. I don't understand why.
I'm fucking with you, motherfucker.
Ryan, can you rethink what you just asked him? How's he gonna have photos of something when they were phased out? Like, how do you take a photo of something that's getting phased?
Bye, Gail. I kid. No. In all honesty, it's probably because Fort Leonard Wood is known as Fort Lost in the Woods, and
you're apparently years behind. Yeah.
It was and so no, when Gerry said about talking about Fort Leonard Wood and how the barracks are all the same. Yeah, they're literally built all the fucking same. It's like mirror images of the same building. Duplicated. Like, and you'll have like
they're probably still issuing out those same fucking green Class A's you're looking at right there.
Well, I noticed that like when I went by Fort Leonard Wood the last time, which was about a year ago, they phased out some of these barracks. They're still there physically. They're just not being used. Yeah. I was with Bravo 410 for basic. And by the way, I love this photo.
Delta 795.
These were your typical guys that I served with. And I want you to look at their arms compared to mine. I had 18-inch arms. I was huge, dude. I was like, God damn, I'm a big dude. And that's a mural I painted in the barracks because the drill instructor, the way he found out I was an artist was I did a caricature of him where he looked like JJ with big giant lips. And his favorite thing to say, I'm going to boomerang your ass. And he was a scrawny black dude and he had these giant lips. And when he ran jogging, his lips would move, but his teeth would be stable. And it just looked really weird. You could see his teeth not moving.
Yeah, I picture it being like Terrell Suggs.
It was crazy. So I did this caricature of him. It was funny as hell, and it got passed around to barracks. I got back from getting my hair cut over at the Mini PX, and somebody goes, "Yo, Kissel, man, drill sergeant got your artwork." I went, "Fuck you, he did not." And then I hear Private Kiss or Echo. He goes, "Echo." Everybody goes, "Echo." He goes, Private Kissel, report." And my ass clenched so tight. I'm like, "Oh, fuck." He's got the artwork I did. So I show up. He says, "Shut the door behind you." I went, "Oh, he's going to kick my ass." Because that's what he did last time. Because he beat the shit out of a guy in our squad. And just a week before. And had him shut the door. And eventually you hear the furniture being slid around as he's running into it. But I go in there and he goes, "You do portraits?" And I went, "Yeah." And he goes, "Can you draw children?" Like, "Yes." And we became friends. And I did portraits of his kids. And but it led to a fucked up dream one night. I was dreaming and he was standing over me. I'm fucking my girlfriend. And he's yelling, "You're not doing it right. Get off her." Let me show you. And he gets in and he starts fucking my girlfriend and makes me stand at parade rest.
What?
And I woke up from that dream. I shit you not. I woke up going, "Oh, fuck. What was that about? What the fuck?" So I'm with the two Joneses. The guy on the right's Jones, and I'm sorry, the other guy to the left is one of my other best friends in the Army, Julian Fuller. And that's the mural I did. And the drill sergeant had me do that mural to cheer everybody up. "Remember your soldier" was the name of the painting. And it took me about 2 days to paint it. And it's still there in the barracks, I was told.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'll pull it back up real quick. So when I was in basic, I was in a platoon. We were called the Warlords, and there was an amazing fucking mural on the wall. This fucking amazing. Like, it was a Warlord. Somebody had painted this fucking awesome mural, and I always wondered, coming up on 24 fucking years, where that came from. And now it makes sense. Somebody in basic training had artistic ability and painted it like you did. I've got a picture of it. I'm gonna have to pull that up sometime. That's really cool. 24 fucking years. I kind of suspected that, but now you're kind of confirming it. Where's that? Here you go. Oi, Gerry.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's good stuff. I like the artwork.
So he's not talking about Hunter Biden.
No, Death Raider is a graphic novel over on Indiegogo. It's actually pretty interesting. I love this picture because Julio had called his mom, and I went and took a photo of him. And I said, "Hey, Julio, who are you talking to?" He says, "I'm talking to my mom." I said, "Then get your hand off your dick." And he put the phone against his chest. "Motherfucker." Because he had his hands out his pants. He always had his hands out his pants.
That's what the phones looked like. There were no cell phones at the time. You had to use the pay phones, and you had
to use a phone?
Cool
Yeah, we had
story,
payphones in the
Grandpa.
barracks. Absolutely.
Yeah. We used a phone when we first got there to say, "Hey, look, I'm not dead, Mom. It's great to talk to you."
Exactly
and you had
what
like
it's
30
for.
seconds, and then you got the call like maybe 3 months later.
There was
I
always
know,
a line.
I'm trying to
always a
recall. Like,
line.
I just don't remember using the phone, but my memory does suck. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, there were
They
little
use
pay
cell
phones.
phones in boot camp now.
Yes.
Are they? They're
You
allowed
have to turn
to?
them in. You have to
That's
turn
what I
them
heard.
in. And once you're allowed access to your personal belongings in the lockup, then you can start using them again. But
You
you're
get
expected to
actual
turn them
money
in after the weekend. Everything
go-
gets turned back
Fuck
in.
the Army and your stupid ways.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fucking
I
get
didn't
your
realize that the.
You get your personal shit on the weekends. Fuck
I'm
off.
sorry. I didn't realize that the Marine Corps was exempt from this with painting.
3 months of nothing.
Painting
letters.
Well,
the
that's what it was
bullets,
for
the
me.
rainbow color
Letters,
for
that's it.
LGBT inclusivity. That's right.
Now I'm going to tell you this photo. One last photo.
Well,
This is John
okay, go
Davis.
ahead.
He is my middle child's godfather. I took that photo because he was drooling, and I thought it was funny. And every time he would meet a girl, I would show them that photo. I said, "This is what you're going to wake up to."
That's fucked up, Gerry.
I told you I'm a dick. I'm notorious for doing shit like
That's
that.
hysterical, and I celebrate this.
It's just, I don't know, man. You learn it. I learned it from my dad because my dad, every time I would meet a girl, he would show them a photo of me with a tiny dick when I was a baby. Like, fuck you, Dad. God, you're an
Poor
asshole.
family.
But this is, right now we just started this last week because the first week nothing happened. I wasn't doing any shows or anything, so we didn't make any money. But this last week I did a lot of shows, starting with Midnight's Edge, Loki, and all those others, and we are now at 2075. Currently with 42 contributions. We need to keep it going. I need new people that haven't seen this so far, that want a book like this that talks about soldiers in a heroic way. I don't want to do superhero comics, never been interested in it. I love reading them, don't want to do them. I want to tell stories about more realistic, grounded heroes based on real groups of people, specifically those in the military. They're always going to be the heroes in my books. I will have bad guys from the military as well as law enforcement. And in fact, we have a corrupt SWAT commander in this story, and he will meet his end in the second book. It is
Spoilers.
Fucking cool. Fuck, I don't care about spoilers. People just want to know what's going to happen. So we got this cop, and it leads to one of those.
And how you get there.
It's that classic John Woo moment where they've got the guns aimed at each other and they've emptied them. There's no clicking. Once it's you've emptied an automatic pistol, it's empty. It just locks open. There's no clicking. I hate that in movies. And they're standing there with these weapons locked open, and so the SWAT commander doesn't think like a warrior. What he thinks is, he who loads the weapon first, doing a mag drop, wins this fight. He goes to do a mag dump. And John, our hero, just throws his weapon like a tomahawk and kills him.
Nice. That is great.
Dinks in his forehead. It sticks in his fucking forehead when he throws the gun at him and kills him.
Oh, I love that.
And people are like, your violence is so brutal. I said, yeah, but it's very real and probably what he would do in that given situation.
And it's what military fuckers want to see. That's
in fact, one of the first killings that you see in the third book, I use industrial military tomahawk. Nice. And he hits because he's trying to be quiet, and I don't want to say what's happening. I don't want to tell you what's happening or where it takes place, but it's a really cool scene. And a security guard on top, armed security guard, is standing up there, and he just happens to sort of look up. All of a sudden, there's this guy above him coming down at him, and he's like, and he says, "Is that a person?" To the other cop or the other guard next to him, and he says that, and next thing you know, a tomahawk just drops into the ground dead, and the other guy turns and he gets popped. And I don't want to tell what happens from there because there's a lot of fucking violence in that scene.
Yeah, no, I
love
this. I love this comment from Mr. Self-Destruct. He's like, "Pull it up." It's just it reminds me of it reminds me. It's just really funny. Yeah, it's a good time. So
this is a funny moment too because he is fucking with this gangbanger, and I agreed that I wanted to name him Gerry, Gary, because I hate that fucking name. And people keep going, "Why don't you spell your name that way?" Because I'm like, that's a gay way to spell Gerry. I like the way my name is spelled. So, this guy is a biker who has a predilection for underage girls, and so the chances of him getting out of this field interrogation is very unlikely.
Yeah.
But it leads to a great moment where John says, it's between you and that gun that's laying on the floor in front of him. He's now unbound. He's untied. He says, you get the gun. It's already got a round in the pipe. I ain't going to lie to you. And my knife. On 3, go. And he dives for it, and he just throws the knife, and it hits right above his collarbone. And it goes into the subclavian artery. And he goes, "Oh, Gerry, just not your fucking day." Locks his arm up. And then he's like, this is the dark humor I have in there.
I love that because you're a medic. You're like, you can specifically name the fucking exact name of the artery. Like, what, all the rest of us like, what the fuck did he just say?
Yeah. So he tells him, he says, "Oh man, that knife just went into your subclavian artery. That means you're going to probably bleed out here, even with the knife in there, in 6 minutes." and be dead within 20, because that's the average it takes for the heart to stop, is 20 minutes with an open wound like that. But then he says, unless I do this, and he reaches and he grabs a knife and pulls it out and it sprays blood. And he goes, now you're down to 3 minutes. You better give me that information if you want to survive this night, buddy. And then the next thing you see is he gives him the information, and then it cuts away to him exiting the building. He exfils and goes out into the van and meets with Bill, his tech guy that's been running the drone, watching all the bad guys coming in trying to kill him. Because the bikers have hired mercs to stop him, and it's not helping him. He's killing them all. And he sits down and he just pretty much alludes to the fact that, yeah, I bled out. I let him die. He was not going to let that guy live. But he got the information he needed to find this kidnapped girl. And this is the transition of the story where it goes from him going after major drug dealers and drug manufacturing to focusing on human trafficking, because he finds out that's one of the other things they're involved with. When he does when he rescues the girl, he finds a series of computers that are tied together, a network. And he puts a thumb drive in and downloads all he can fit onto this one thumb drive, 1 terabyte. Takes it back, and Bill breaks into it, finds out what it was, that it's a list of human trafficking people and places. And he's like, holy shit. Oh, this changes everything. And that's the thing that just keeps happening. Like he starts this out because he's angry because of the med board process, which is a fucking nightmare. And people don't understand how frustrating it is. And the Army does this shit on purpose. And it bugs me about the Department of Defense that they do this to their personnel, that they make life a living hell for them. And they know it's a living hell for them. And they just don't care. And these guys get trapped in this, and they're in a limbo with their career. And he's got a new leg. He's able to walk. He can run on one version of it. I don't do that in the book. In the book, there's only one prosthetic leg. I wanted to simplify things. Anybody that's going to try to correct me later, just realize I'm aware of that there should be 3 different types of legs he uses. But it's complicated for the story, and I want to simplify it so it's one leg in the book. And he
Did
can
John
walk.
Russell kill Epstein?
What's that? John Russell didn't kill Epstein, did he?
Those are spoilers left best to the
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
And I had a buddy of mine that was
by the book.
He was with
Buy
the
the book to
72nd.
find out. That's right.
I had a buddy of mine that was with the 72nd Stryker Brigade. Okay, and he got really frustrated with my writing, and he kept going, "You need to let me write. I'm the real writer." And I'm like, "You're talking to the wrong guy. I know I'm a professional writer. You're not. You think you can write better than me." And I said this to him. I finally told him, I said, "The problem with you is you don't understand the character, and 2, you write like a sit rep. You don't understand how to tell a story." And I did. I actually said that to him, and our friendship ended because of this shit. But he said, "I want to write this character because you keep having him saying, quote unquote, goofy shit." And I said, and he says, "No soldier would say that." I said, "Number one, this character isn't me, but the way he thinks is me. The way he says things is me, because it's my voice. When John's talking, that's me talking. And I say goofy shit all the fucking time. And that's why you will never write this character, because you don't understand me or the character." And so our relationship ended. I hate that stuff, but it happens. And but I do throw a nod to him also, because he suffered from severe PTSD, and he also had a TBI, multiple IEDs and RPG strikes on his Stryker, caused him to have just real physical problems with his brain. And he would end up on the ledge sometimes, and I'm the one who would talk him down. I don't know who does it now, but I talked him down at least 3 times. That he was just like in a rage, and I've had a way of calming him down, but not anymore because our friendship ended. But I throw that kind of stuff in there. There's so many real people in my stories. Bill, the tech guy, and this is my grandfather. He's based on my grandfather, who shook from the trauma he had in combat till the day he died. He had terrible hand tremors. And the only time his hands would stop. Oh, by the way, right here, I establish immediately he's right-handed. right? You can see that, right? He's going back down the stairs. He's backing down the stairs, so he can maintain his aim. But then on the next page, you'll notice he's no longer holding it right-handed, and it's the first time I would wish this had been published earlier, because it is the first time anybody has ever seen in film or in comic what's called a shoulder switch, which you're trained to do when you're in CQB.
Yep.
And in CQB, you're taught that if you have to go around a wall to your right, shift shoulders. If you got to go up a stairwell or down a stairwell and you have to maintain alignment on a target, a door, what have you, that if in order to do that, if you have to shift shoulders, shift shoulders.
Yep.
Nobody ever does that in film until Kill List did it with Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt did an actual shoulder switch in the final episode.
I'm actually really surprised as amazingly accurate with and all the training that Keanu Reeves did with what John Wick, thank you. That they didn't fucking do that in there. I mean, because he trained. He got so good at that. But yeah, he didn't fucking transition to his weak arm.
Yeah, you're trained that if you have a weak, especially if you are a ranger above. We did it. I wasn't even a ranger. I was just regular Army. We learned to do it during CQB because we were being taught by rangers. My sergeant, both my sergeants, Sergeant Eugene Tevez and Sergeant Tom Parker, were both of those guys were rangers, and they taught us how to do what we did. And I love that. I appreciated it more than anything.
Yeah, that's a very interesting detail you put in there. I like it.
It's little things like that that most people won't notice. I had a compliment. If you go to the interview, because I was interviewed this week by Bleeding Fool magazine for their independent comic section. And a guy made a comment on the page that this is his favorite page right here that he saw. He loves him breaching through that window, popping the glass, and then going through it. Yeah. There's a better scene later in the second book. You see a little bit of it at the beginning when he gets hit in the chest by the sniper. That scene ends with him killing that sniper. And you'll see it in the second book. It won't appear in the first book. And in the second book, he's triangulated by these snipers with SWAT. And he's stuck on this roof and he can't move. He's trapped and he's like, how am I going to do this? And he remembered something, that many of the snipers that are in SWAT aren't militarily trained. And he was going to take his chance. And he flashbangs the sniper. And the sniper automatically would track whatever he threw. So he throws something at the sniper, and the sniper tracks it, and the commander yells, "No, don't!" And it's too late. He's tracked the flashbang that goes off in his eyes. And he immediately pops up and drops him.
Nice.
And now he's not triangular anymore. There's a blind spot, and he finds the blind spot, hides, stands up, and takes his M4. He uses a SOP mod M4. The only thing he doesn't have on it is the GPS. It's not necessary. And he does a classic, it's my nod to Escape from New York, where Snake Plissken shoots a hole in the wall, a circle, and then kicks through it. I do the same thing, but it's with the roof that below his feet. He shoots a hole with the M4 and then stomps and falls 2 stories to get away from these guys trying to kill him. And it's I don't want to tell you any more than that because a lot of shit happens during that battle. Dale Dye read that script. Dale Dye, you know who Dale Dye is, read that script, and he said, "Son, that is some of the best combat action I've ever seen written."
Hell yeah!
I'm like, thank you, sir.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, we got. I got to get to a super chat here. This Big Rob dropped this a while. Big Rob dropped this a while ago. Over on the Rumble side again with another 20. Big Rob says, old commander was first amputee to ever combat return to duty. And my buddy Joe, I am not going to try to pronounce that name, was the first Special Operations Forces amputee to return to duty. What?
You were given $20, sir. You will pronounce that name and you will love every minute of it in your mouth.
Kapaskuski.
Very nice.
Joe Kapaskuski. I didn't want to do it because it sounds. I'm going to disrespect him by pronouncing it fucking terrible. Was the first.
Yeah,
was the first special operations forces amputee to return to duty. Awesome that you captured that into your art. Respect. Drink more, you scoundrels. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Actually,
and
Dermy,
for that, we're gonna
shit.
punch Dermy in the dick.
And I know the.
Come on now.
Take that, Dermy, and cheers to you, Big Rob.
That's right. I celebrate that message.
That's a dick punch, man.
Hell yeah. We need a good.
My
dick
girlfriend
punch.
laughs.
Look,
When I play
Dermy
Call
doesn't
of
even
Duty.
fucking react anymore. He's just like, I'll
Dermy!
take that. Wake up! Put on a little bit of makeup.
What the fuck?
Dermy's had a
loser?
lot to drink.
He's playing his
No.
fucking games. He's
No,
playing
I'm
his
making
games.
I've been editing a video for tomorrow.
Oh,
You're such a fucking homo.
I swear to God,
In the
I thought
worst
you were
way.
asleep and I was gonna beat you.
No, I've been editing a video. I had.
are you in the same room with him?
No, that's
No,
worse.
it's
than
not.
hell.
Wait,
Yeah, they're
Deserve
a
it.
couple. They're a couple. Yeah, they're a couple.
No, I'm her gay best friend. Okay, get it right.
They live
Oh.
together.
She's your beard.
Yes.
He
Basically.
wishes.
She's not. We're not gonna deny it.
We bought
Love-
booty shorts together.
Yes, we did.
Oh,
They
gal, you've been
did.
doing so much better.
One of the last things I did in the reserves was I got to work
Is-
the VA in Seattle.
Oh, I thought you
And
said
one,
booty shorts.
I was shocked at how many special forces guys were transgender, transvestites. I was really shocked. Not like insulted or anything like that, but it surprised me. But I love working at the VA, and that's why Seattle and the VA there in Seattle are subjects within my book because one, I worked at that VA, and two, I loved that city back before shitheads ran it.
Yeah, I got family that lives up there. I remember going to Seattle and seeing the Space Needle and the amusement park there and everything when I was a young kid. And now I went there and visited for Thanksgiving last year, and holy fuck! I mean, we drove down there one time, and the fucking filth in that city is amazing.
It's
to see
repugnant.
the fucking difference is
It's
incredible.
a piece of shit.
It is so bad. It is so fucking. I mean, that's where fucking CHOP happened. I mean, they fucking actually managed to annex an entire fucking block of the city.
Serious question, real quick.
What's
Was
up,
there?
Dermy?
Yes, you are.
Is there a
homo.
real life? Fuck off. Isn't there a real life, like Seattle superhero? It was a UFC fighter that decided to start taking on like criminals or something like that.
Yeah, there was a few
thought
of
that
them.
was California.
There ended up being like a little group of them that were like.
Yeah, there's a
patrolling-
documentary about the real
It
life
was-
superhero guys.
It was a ranger. It was a group of rangers, is what it was.
Hold on. Open up my page again. It's on there.
on here.
Scroll up. There's a newspaper up, not
Oh.
down. Right there. That
Right there.
newspaper. That is what inspired the
Okay.
idea of doing
Yep.
Vindicated.
Yep.
Because I wanted to, I love that story with these guys. And there's the medic here on YouTube that talked about the story and what happened in that when they took this gang on directly.
Mhm.
And
It was like one of the really bad gangs, like Crips
they
or
killed
Bloods,
some of
right?
these guys, but yet no bodies were found. I don't know if the gang did that or if the cops did that to help cover it up.
Gang.
I think there was a new.
So-
I think there was a new one actually during the whole BLM riots. There was a UFC fighter that went out there and started fighting against like all the rioters and stuff.
Oh, I think I
And
know what
they
you're
were-
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, they were the rioters were saying, "You're helping the cops. What the hell are you doing?" It's like he's being a hero.
Right.
He's
This
doing what
this one's
he's doing.
this one's epic though, because this retired ranger bought this house really cheap because it was in a terrible fucking neighborhood, and he had all kinds of issues with the fucking gangs around, and he got them pissed off, and he knew damn well, he got to a point where he knew damn well they were going to get him. They were going to go in there. So he called up a whole bunch of his fucking ranger buddies, and they fucking locked that shit down. Fucking had a fucking plan of
They went
action in
full
place.
battle
and they
rattle
fucking
into that
killed these
neighborhood
motherfuckers. Hell
and
yeah.
took them down. And
Yep.
when I read that article, I'm like, I'm going to tell a story about guys like this. And that's what Vindicated is inspired by, is shit like this. He was also inspired by, I just forgot his name, the colonel that lost both legs. He was in the movie Battleship. And originally, when I was going to do the comic, he had both legs missing. But then I realized I can't do that. In fact, he has to have a below the knee amputation for him to be able to do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
And so I limited. But originally it was 2 legs, and Kurt Yeager, the actor from Sons of Anarchy with the prosthetic leg, he's a buddy of mine. I sent him the story, and because I originally wanted to pitch it also as a film or a TV show. And he's like, I'm all in. In fact, he's my partner on the project. He doesn't put money into it. What it is that if we ever do get someone to pitch this, which Script Doctor is planning to pitch this as a movie, that he has first right of refusal to play the lead character in it. And I have several other actors who are in the comic book who signed away their likeness agreements with me so I could draw them into the comic book. And it's really awesome having these guys in there. And because it's sort of like casting my own movie, but it's comic book, but it's not a comic book. It's really a static movie. It's like stills from a movie. That's what my book is. That's why it looks the way it looks, because it looks like a movie. It's meant to look like a movie, from the angles I use to the 1, 2 shot, 3 shot, extreme close-ups. Everything is done the same way you would do a film.
That's awesome. Jesse, if you can go ahead and drop the link for that one more time, that'd be fucking great. Yeah, dude, I want to check this out. I really do. And anyone out there, I mean, I know we got a lot of vets in the fucking chat here, guys. Obviously, this sounds like this is something for you. If you're into comic books and you're a vet and you like fucking seeing cool ass shit, fucking people getting fucking skewered by getting a gun thrown at them, fucking check it out, man. That's awesome.
That'll be in the second book, not the first one, but the first book.
Okay. Spoilers, yeah, spoilers. You get to see it in the second book.
In the first book, you get to see 1969 GTO versus biker gang.
Nice.
That's all I'm going to say. It's fun. I wrote it and I sent it immediately to Script Doctor. Script Doctor's like, this shit is awesome. He's on a what do you call it? Not a dry dock. What's it called? Loading dock. Mm-hmm. One of the long ones that you see along the waterfront there in Seattle. And he knows where they're going to be. So he's on the loading block, and he's like waiting for Bill to tell him how many feet from his location they are. He's giving him live actionable intelligence because he's got a drone up in the air watching him, and he just guns it. And he just goes off that fucking dock through the air at the 2 lead command. What do you call them in gangs? I forget what they're called. The guys that are in charge. They take military
gang
names.
Leader.
They're like lieutenants. I think they're lieutenants.
Oh, yeah, I think
a capo.
Yeah, capos are in the mob. I think in bikers they use military lingo.
Yeah,
and so you got these 2 lieutenants in the front of this gang. There's 8 of them piling down the street, and he fucking just mows them over. I won't say how he does it, what he does, but it's fucking bloody and gory, and lots of body parts go flying.
It's not surprising that a biker gang would use military thing, because a lot of the original biker
gangs were military vets.
Yeah, they were Vietnam vets.
My grandfather was one of them. He had what is that called? The Indian Chief, I think, was a motorcycle.
Yep.
He brought back from Europe with him when he came back from World War I, and he rode around on it with friends.
I clearly know exactly how all this works because I've watched all of Sons of Anarchy. Okay, I'm fucking.
Well, then you know who Kurt Yeager is. He was in Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, really?
The main character, yeah.
I saw him making a joke.
He's the one that Ron sends into that mobile home and then kills him, tricks him into going into mobile home and then kills him.
I mean, I do assume in that show that they probably do pull a lot of real information on how this shit like works. So I mean, yeah, the terminology and everything is probably very accurate. Good show, fucking great show.
A lot of the history and stuff that they put behind the Sons of Anarchy, that club, is very similar to a lot of that kind of stuff. It's similar based on like the Banditos, a little bit of the Hells Angels, and a little bit, honestly, it kind of sounds kind of weird, but the Gypsies.
Well, there's that gang from back east that we dealt with. I forget their name. We were terrified of them.
Sons of Silence, or wasn't the
it was from Texas to Virginia. And they were really problematic. And I can't remember their name. If you said it, I would know it. It just, for some reason, I'm forgetting it tonight. But I just read an article that they still exist. I'm like, holy shit, how do these people still exist?
There's a lot of them that still do. There's a lot, and it's funny too, because a lot of veterans end up joining the local clubs and stuff like that, just because it gives you a little bit. It gives, and you're right, a lot of that is based off of military stuff because it was all veterans that founded a lot of those clubs. So yeah, you have lieutenants, you have all of that kind of stuff, secretary, and all of that. So yeah, very, very, very similar in a lot of.
Hey,
ways.
Devil, since you are here, can you want to explain this?
No, not really.
Okay, we'll just listen to it.
I got
Right.
railed in a Senate room by a dude, and I railed a dude on camera in the Senate on the Senate floor or whatever, and now I'm the one who everyone's picking on me.
I'm glad. Thank you. The Devil can actually be honest. Much appreciated.
I mean, are we showing videos of Adam tonight?
Yeah, let's see the
I don't care.
dancing
Go
little-
ahead.
I have a
Go
video
ahead.
of
Come
Adam.
on, man.
Go ahead. Someone pull it up. Yeah, go ahead.
Give me a moment.
I have no recollection of this. I don't
real
remember doing
quick,
this.
Real
There's a
quick,
couple.
This is like
Ariel says Gal is mad. Gal smash.
Gal smash.
Gal, why are you so mad?
I'm not.
You are.
Your character in your
Death
comic
bites
sounds
smooth
really
no.
cool, and then you see Adam, who after retiring from the military just drinks a lot. It's kind of
Something's gonna happen consistently.
I didn't track that, but it sounded funny coming out of his mouth.
It always sounds funny
A
coming
lot
out
of
of Devil's
It
mouth.
does.
It was the pagan.
I always
That's
play
the
the
game.
laugh track when he talks.
Hell,
He was-
Satan's on The Simpsons.
Oh, that was
Um,
that was the Simpsons parody of it.
Yeah. it was.
Guys, that biker gang I was talking about was the pagans.
Oh,
By
I
the
remember.
way-
Yeah, the pagans. I know about the pagans.
By the way, I have something for Adam.
Oh dear God.
Okay.
Oh God.
Okay. All right.
There's
Yeah, and
no
he didn't even
audio,
fucking play it.
Dermy.
Dude,
Yeah,
we've
fuck
actually
you,
got this in the
dumbass.
show.
That's not
We've
what
got
we're
we got
talking
this in the
about.
fucking clips. No, fuck you. I'll even play the fucking wait. Or maybe
Dermy,
I took
do
it.
you-
Maybe I deleted it.
Dermy,
no,
do
here
you
it is.
understand-
Here. That's a Dermy was. Fuck.
Oh, and that
where
was
is
my
it?
buddy Shellback that was in there with you guys.
Dermy, we're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah,
about
Shellback's good people.
like this last night stuff. this
I got
weekend?
it. The one from
I
last
don't
night.
have
I'm
anything
almost.
from last night.
I
wasn't
got it.
watching. I was asleep.
All right, we're real quick. Ariel is saying
Must be nice.
Ariel ballet. Also, the hell, Ryan. What's with all the eye flirting with Gal? Are you trying to do something naughty?
Yes, he is.
Ariel,
Yeah,
in the
he-
military, you can have him.
He
In the
always-
military, we have a phrase for
Yeah,
that.
she's
It's
my
called,
girl best friend.
it's called eye fucking.
Yes.
Dermy,
is
I'm
that
not
too.
gay, so yeah,
true.
she can be your beard.
Oh, there he
I
is.
already am.
I mean,
Okay,
fucking, like,
Where's that video?
I've got to
Where's the
mute
video?
it first. I've got to mute it first. Hold on.
By the way, shout out to everyone who's watching over on Rumble. Yes, I am seeing you over there. You got all 24 of you. Thank you for
Okay.
being over there. We got Big Rob, Death Deer, Perdido. Who else is over there in the chat? That is about it. And Chai has been chatting over there
Yeah,
too.
Chai,
Thank you
hang
guys.
Ready?
Again, eventually we are going to get a program over here where we can highlight your chats as well.
I would just like
Full
to say
size
real
it.
quick
Hold on.
to Ariel, Gal doesn't
Here we
swallow.
go.
You do.
That's a lot.
Thank
This
you
was
so much.
5 in the morning.
Oh,
Oh my
we gotta
God!
go- We gotta go all the way back. Sorry, I had to mute it.
Turn the audio's off. The audio's off.
Yeah,
I
turn
know
the
because
audio-
it has music. You don't want to get hit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just
Well, the audio's
We
what's
get
what
we
really
get-
makes it great, though.
No, we get
Okay,
here's the-
fine.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck you, Big Rob, for making that, dude.
No, I actually applaud this. Yeah, absolutely. Big Rob.
That's like a gay
applaud.
club.
what about the other video?
So
There's
Adam
another
has
one.
come out as being gay, and he likes to dance.
I do not
Hey, Ryan.
remember doing that. It's 5
Ryan, how
o'clock
many
in the
people do you-
fucking morning.
Don't you fuck dinosaurs and shit like that?
Yeah, you know,
yeah.
He does.
Rex is real jealous of the fucking
Are
bucket.
you a
dude.
dinosaur
Like,
fucker?
Yeah.
It was
so
before
my
bucket
dinosaurs.
dinosaurs.
He's also
Okay.
a bucket shitter, yes.
so
I've got
my
2 memes
previous,
for you, Adam, when you're ready.
Sure.
Memes.
Jesse, go ahead and do your thing. I was gonna do it, but go ahead.
What do you want me to do?
Gary's Sharon. There you go.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, here you go.
I didn't do
actually
that.
said this
Fuck.
to my first sergeant. I actually did this to my first sergeant.
Where the hell is your military bearing? It rolled right over there, sir. Made you look.
He looked, and then he turned back at me with the dirtiest look, and I went, I did not make you look. You chose to look. And this is my Air Force joke of the day.
You don't know. Go ahead, Jesse, you read your Air Force.
You don't know how to do an 8-digit grid coordinate? It's not my fault. We're Air Force. That's right. The only place I needed to figure out was how the only grid I had to figure out was where the aircraft was.
Yep.
Row A.
Now, because you guys were more
space
boots on the
3.
ground, dude, the Air Force eventually learned how to do 8 and 10 digit grid coordinates and learned how to do back azimuths because you guys were on the ground in Afghanistan and Iraq. And that was in 2009 is when you guys started learning how to do that. But before that, that's what this joke's about, is because Air Force had no idea what that fucking was.
And that explains why I didn't learn it either, because I didn't enlist until 08. So yeah, 07. Well,
You didn't
technically,
know
I
what a
think I
back
enlisted in
azimuth
07, but
was?
08.
Yeah, you got to shoot a back ass in order to figure out how to get someplace. You have to
Gal
know
got shot in the back azimuth every single day of the week.
Yeah, well, that's because she loves it. Though. She loves it.
And on that note, I have to leave.
Oh,
Thank
darn.
And Gal's so
Oh,
disappointed.
I know
Aw.
Gal's so crushed. Oh my god, it's not like we've streamed together for like 5 hours today.
Oh, you're calling it streaming now.
What I find interesting is your hair is almost the same color as your robe.
No,
Nobody
it's
got
not. It's the camera. This is green.
It looks pretty blue here.
And on that note, I'm out, bitches.
Later,
bitch.
bitch.
Bye. See you tomorrow, man.
Yeah, Gal's a blue-haired banshee.
God, I really want to be able to kick you.
I know.
Her evil twin, blue-haired pro-liberal.
And this would be the best time to do it because I bet you $10 he's not wearing pants.
That's true.
He's naked from the waist down.
Adam doesn't own pants.
Aren't
When
we
he's,
all
when he's
on
out
the train?
hiking, he doesn't own a shirt.
I just
I
like the
thought
way
that was
that
normal.
the fan from the computer blows on my nuts.
Dude, I actually have a fan. I have this pad that's got a bunch of fans in it below my ass because I stream out in my garage and it gets hot down here in South Texas during the summer.
So I have my ceiling fan that goes, and I did buy this little fucking dinky thing off of Amazon. I thought it was gonna be like they advertise it being a cool air thing, but you have to keep on pouring water, and it's got this thing that soaks up the water, and the air blows through these little fucking vents. And I'm like, it lasts for like 20 fucking minutes, and you got to pour more water in. So
It's
now
called
it's just
a
a fucking
humidifier.
no, it's not a humidifier. It's supposed it's cool air. It's literally like this fucking big, but now it's just a fucking dinky piece of shit fucking fan that just like blows
You're
mild air on my legs. So okay, before we actually get to a real topic, I did want to do so. Okay, Gal, I have been watching Alice in Borderland, and it's fucking great. I do love that show. I'm gonna say this though: anyone who's a fan of Alice in Borderland, the show, you guys will love Squid Game because I guarantee I looked it up. Squid Game came out a year after Alice in Borderland. It's obvious they fucking took Alice in Borderland and fucking did something else. Squid Game is better. And I'm not saying Alice in Borderland is bad. It's still a great fucking show, but I'm telling you, check out Squid Game. If you like Alice in Borderland, Squid Game is so much fucking better. You'll love it. I guarantee it.
You told us this last night, but also you know that Alice in Borderland is based off of a manga, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
One thing that did throw me off, and I'm glad. Okay, I was really surprised by this because this is Japanese, right? Japanese does not buy into the fucking liberal wokeness bullshit. So when they introduced a character as being trans, it threw me off. But here's I know. Let me hold on. Let me say, what's interesting is that it's very obvious that they're putting that in there. And this is what we've talked about. The difference between what's woke and what isn't. They have a trans character in there, but it's not for the agenda. They mention it one fucking time. And so far they have not said anything else about it. And I had to look it up, and sure as shit, unlike here in the States where they have to do this on make a thing about it. This person, she's hot, but she's not a fucking trans dude. This is actually a real actress that's actually really fucking hot who's just playing a male to female trans character. And I was so relieved to find out.
You're misadvising, Adam. You're misadvising. It is not definitive that she is trans. You don't know Japanese culture.
Mm-hmm.
So it's ambiguous. It is not actually in the show, or I don't know about the manga if they come out and say it, but she's not. Japanese want, or Asians want male children. So it's implied, it's possible that she's trans, but it's actually possible that she's a female and her dad did not want a female child.
Mm-hmm.
So he raised her
I
as
guess
a
I could be
boy.
wrong, but I mean, I thought it was very
Well,
clear
no,
that the entire
No,
controversy in
it's-
that
it's
episode was
good
saying
point.
that
They
is
did it
trans.
so well. They did that so well where they're not pushing an agenda. But if you know anything about like Asian cultures, they don't want female children.
And Adam, she's
And
possibly one of the best characters in the entire show, and season 3 is coming out here soon.
I'm not saying she's bad. Yeah, I
no,
love
no,
her.
no,
Yeah,
no,
she's
no,
fucking
one-
great.
no.
And she's
One
smoking fucking hot.
One Piece has a very similar character that like the trans community tries to latch on to all the time, and
Mhm.
like even the creator has pushed back against it because she's a female, but like Gal said, it's the exact same kind of thing. Her father wanted a male heir and he didn't get one, so she always tried to be a strong male. She even like bathed with the dudes at one point. Everybody's like, "Oh my god!" And no, like there are trans characters in One Piece. But this is not one of them because Miyamoto draws women a very specific way with big old boobies and like hour-shaped glasses. Yeah, or
Look,
hourglass.
No,
shaped
it's
all day
not.
long,
Are you saying that
so
they
he
raised
said
her
the
like
penis?
a dude though? Because I
Yes.
remember that even in the flashback,
Yeah.
they just
So he's ashamed to have a daughter. Like it's that
okay. So
flashback
you're
is
saying you're saying
showing-
that they're treating her like she's a boy, and then eventually she fucking decides, no, I'm not going to go with this. I am a girl,
yeah.
even
Like,
though she is a biological woman. Okay.
I'm not saying she is, but that's what they're doing there. They're not saying what it is. And also Asians, especially to white people, look the same male to female. Like they can be androgynous, especially when
Racist.
they're younger. So that's one reason why I fucking love that character, is because you don't actually know, and that flashback tells you nothing beyond the fact that, oh, he's ashamed to have a daughter, so he's raised her as a boy, and that's why he gets so frustrated when he sees her being interested in female things as she gets older.
Well, I mean, being here in modern day, coming up on 2024 in the United States, it's very easy to assume it's just a fucking trans character. But
yes, it really is.
The point being that this is Japan, though. Yeah, I was very surprised to see them putting a fucking trans character in a Japanese show.
But
Gary,
they still have trans people.
Adam,
over there,
Gary,
like-
yeah.
I just want to point out that our problem isn't the fact that there is a gay character or a trans character. What bothers us, and I'm getting this feeling that you guys are just like I am, is how they turn it into a thing. They got to make a thing out of it. And it's like, I've got a lot of gay people. I have trans people in my real life. I love these people, good people. But we hang out. We don't make it all about them and their fucking personal agendas. When we're talking, we're just talking about regular stuff, and you're just life. You're doing life. You're doing life together in prison, this thing we call Earth, but I get so fucking frustrated, and I'm getting the gist that you guys are the same way, when they bring a character in that and then make it all about that person, and they do the identity politics thing, which is boring as fuck.
That's the woke
I want
agenda.
I want good storytelling. I don't want your fucking personal agendas. I want a fucking story.
I could care less if you're gay. I just want to be able to connect.
Stop
you
saying
at a
that to me.
personal level.
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I just want to be
There
able
was
to.
that one
connect you
time
at
in
a-
band camp. I admit it.
Listen, we don't.
Look,
What happens at band camp stays at band camp. Okay, what happens in the barracks stays in the barracks. I don't need to know, but I want to be able to connect to you at that personal level. I want to be able to look into your character and be able to connect to you. I don't need.
And by
you
that, he
pandering
means your
to me to
anus.
anything. Shut the fuck up. I don't need you to pander to me because, hey, I might like guys as well. I don't need that. I need something that I can connect to you on. That one of my best examples is actually the character we were just talking to. I love that character. Possibly one of my favorite characters out of the entire
Well,
fucking
see,
show.
that's
I
where
can never remember her name, but
they pay attention to creating interesting characters, because here are two things. I want to make 2 points here. One, my writing teacher, who is a screenwriter, Hollywood screenwriter, worked for TV and film, and basically taught me that it requires no energy at all to write characters nobody cares about, which is why he doesn't like the movie The Big Lebowski. He says there's no character in that film that's really likable through the writing. You only like them because how the actor performs the character has nothing to do with the writing, right? And I went, oh my God, you're right. If you break it down to just listening to what they're saying, there's nothing likable about any fucking character in that film. That's lazy writing. And the other thing is that's important is what happened to me 1 week ago. A friend of mine said, you make a lot of gay jokes on your show. And I went, yeah.
What?
I
Yeah.
said, it's usually I'm
Same fact.
I'm the loser in the joke. I'm making fun of myself, but yeah, I'm calling myself gay. And they said, well, you say that an awful lot when you're not, and I don't think that's funny. And I went, prove I'm not. And the look on my friend's face was like, what? I said, prove I'm not gay. You tell me that I never secretly sucked a guy's dick or fucked him in the ass or been fucked in the ass. You prove it. And then this leads to my next statement, which is, it's not officially gay until you do it a second time and liked it.
Is that the rule?
That's the rule.
Dude, that reminds me of an old
Is
Navy story. That reminds me of an old
Criteria.
Navy story. One of my buddies was like, I had this old Navy chief, and he came up to me one day and he's like, boy, you look like an F word I can't say here on YouTube.
Bundle of
Thank
sticks.
you. Thank you for the restraint.
Yeah. He was like, you ever suck dick? And he's like, no, sir. He's like, you sure? He's like, you look like you're gay. He's like, do you know if you're gay or not? He's like, I'm not gay, sir. He's like, well, how do you know? You ever sucked a dick? He's like, no, sir, I've never sucked a dick. And he's
Sounds like
well,
a proposition's about to happen.
no. He's like, well, I sucked a dick one time and I didn't like it. So that's how I know I'm not gay. So what are you doing?
What the fuck?
I love like old salty enlisted guys, like the senior NCOs. I love the old salty ones, dude. They are the absolute best, man. I had a chief tell me one time, he's like, I was like, Chief, are we supposed to do this? Are we supposed to ask the colonel? He's like, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. I was like, okay.
So Mason, before you even went with that, Perdido over on Rumble says Navy has always been forthcoming with how gay they were. That's why Submariners stand watch Winnie the Pooh. I don't get the Winnie the Pooh part. Perdido, you need to explain that. Is that a Navy joke? I don't get it.
By the way, Shinatsky brought up something, and he and I have talked about this before, is the character that was played by Hun Lee on the show Banshee. Was a gay character who was very feminine and wore a lot of womanly kind of clothes on that show. He was my favorite gay character in a film or a TV series. That was an awesome character. He was an ass kick. He would kill somebody if it was necessary. Fucking love that guy. And he had a very military bearing about him, so it made me wonder if he'd served the character, not
My
the
favorite. I'm gonna stay with him being pan instead of just being gay, but my favorite character is still Captain Jack. Nothing beats.
Oh, he's
Captain
very
Jack from-
pansexual. He is.
Nothing
pansexual.
beats Captain Jack from Doctor Who, in my opinion. He is such a lovable character, and you don't give a shit what
Yeah,
his sexuality.
Jack Harkness, wasn't it? Jack Harkness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jack
he's a great
Harkness.
character.
And
He
the
had the
guy's
best
a great
spin-off.
actor too. Well, and yeah, Torchwood is amazing, and he's a great actor, and like he's such a huge fan guy. Like this is one of those guys, like he's very open about his sexuality. He's got a husband, he's open about that on Instagram. But this is a guy who has never once attacked fans. This is a guy who absolutely loves his fans to death. And when he was on the CW, he was great on the CW in the Arrowverse. He did an incredible job over there. And yeah, Torchwood was so good. And it's like it's one of those things like we didn't give a shit. Like the explanation that the doctor gave was, well, he's from the whatever century, so they're a little more open to a lot of things because Jack's attracted to everything. It's not just women, it's not just men, it's aliens. Like he's like, hey,
He'd fuck a snake if someone would hold its head still.
Dude, like he's like, that's what Jack is all about. And Torchwood led a little bit more into the gay thing, but it's also like Torchwood didn't have a bunch of aliens around. Like if there was a hot alien, Jack probably would have decided to go after the hot alien versus the cute dude or whatever.
I do feel that Torchwood was the BBC testing the waters if they could start doing stuff. And that's the only thing that bothers me about it. Because I did like Torchwood, but they were testing waters and then they went absolutely full on flaming gay.
Yeah, and That's one of the that was just a kind of a structural change inside of the BBC, just like a lot of the major corporations we see now, Hollywood, it all got taken over by the woke. I mean, if you're a white person working at the BBC, you're a minority. And especially if you're a white straight person, you're like even the lowest minority possible at the BBC right now.
So if I go and work at the BBC, could I get a job?
You probably could. I'm sure you could probably find the right dick to suck.
It doesn't stand for big black dick. Cock.
Okay, Mr. Dyslexic.
That's not dyslexia.
Whatever.
No, that's not how it works. It's just it's just retardation,
It's called
which I am.
dyslexia. Thank you. That's Burville dyslexia.
Burville.
Let's see how many smart people are out there to get what I just did.
Verbal
dyslexia.
I heard burble.
Is called Burville dyslexia.
That was the joke.
The joke is
even I got the joke.
I'm inverting it.
I'm trying to multitask. I'm pouring a beer while trying to listen at the same time. Obviously, it's very difficult for me. All right.
Jesus.
Just a friendly FYI. We love Adam to death, but he's a little retarded, so it's okay.
I missed you guys.
I'm
retarded.
As my best
sorry,
friend would say, he would go, "What's wrong with you? Are you half retarded?"
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I get forward toss. I can't believe we haven't done this yet. For anyone who's new here, we do have our drinking game rules. Any single super chat, we do a social. $20 or more, we do shots. And those are greatly appreciated. Everyone in the audience is welcome to play along as well.
We love our shots.
That's right. What is going on, Jesse, with this Disney Civil War?
Actually, before that,
Tiff's got to go.
I'm dying right now. I need to get some sleep.
She's been up since like 5 a.m. for time.
I've gotten an hour and a half of sleep over the last 40 fucking hours. So fuck all
Gal,
of you.
go to bed. I love
Well,
you.
why don't you cry
Good
about
night. It's good seeing you.
Yes, it was good to see you.
Hey, you guys all should come out over and hang out with me over on Pop Culture Minefield sometime. It's fun.
Yeah, so they're not only finally bringing it up.
TGIF is when it's the party that never ends for 2 hours.
It's during the day though, isn't it?
Yeah, 3:00.
Yeah, I work, unfortunately.
Some people have real jobs. Lame.
Yeah.
What time do you get up?
4 p.m. Mountain Time.
That'd be 5:00 for me, right when the show ends. Damn it.
Yeah.
See, everyone wants Gal on their show. Look at you, Gal.
No, I was inviting all
YouTube superstar. There we go. I gotta go to the turtle shell. I gotta go to the turtle shell. Yes.
I don't want Gal on my show. She doesn't ever show up anyway, so I stopped.
I'm so salty.
I've got. You know what? The best part. Never mind. I'm not going to be that mean. Never mind. I'm not going to be that mean. I love you, Gal. Thank you.
Y'all know where to find me. I'm too tired to give an outro. I know, Jesse. Sorry.
Love you, Gal.
I'm giving the Vulcan peace salute.
We love you, dear.
Her link is in the video description below. Later, Gal. Love you.
All right. Okay, in by Dexter.
I just
there you go.
To Pop Culture.
And it's scissoring.
She gets that. She deserves it.
The motherfucking day, yeah. I love that movie.
Oh, I got.
I'm friends with the Chiodo brothers, by the way. I'm friends with the Chiodos, and they're part of the reason why they'll never do a sequel, because they said that was a nightmare making that movie.
Well.
I believe
the reason Matt Damon's character retarded is because every time they tried to make the actual puppet for Matt Damon,
puppet looked retarded.
Yeah, the puppet kept coming out looking retarded. So there was like, fine, we'll just make him retarded.
Is that really why?
Yeah,
that's exactly why. It didn't work right either. They had all kinds of problems with it, and so they just turned Matt Damon into retarded Damon.
I think I remember wondering, what is their problem with Matt Damon?
Well, they're friends with Matt Damon in real life, and he said supposedly that he wanted to actually do the voice. George Clooney too. George was best man at Trey Parker's wedding.
Oh wow!
And they're friends in real life, and he pokes fun at them all the time. In fact, George was on South Park once. He was the voice of Sparky the dog.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I remember that.
Red Rocket.
I remember. So yeah, they would say that. Yeah, we always get these celebrities that want to come on, but then they just give them like the most ridiculous things. So like, yeah, George Clooney, they make him the gay dog.
Seinfeld was a turkey.
What was it?
Seinfeld. He was told that if he wanted to come on, he'd have to be a turkey.
He'd have to be a turkey.
That's great.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's so fucking good. Oh, I love that show.
By the way, I shared my screen again if you want to share it. This artwork is one of the alt covers I did. I like that because it shows the Satmod M4 he carries. And I love this also because this is my nod to Kurt Russell's Jack Burton in the movie Big Trouble in Little China. Because he does that famous scene where he's like, okay, from this point forward, it's going to be easy sailing. And then he opens the gate and the entire Kong gang is standing there and he shuts the gate in front of him. And he goes, we may be trapped. And so I have the lead character, John, say, well, it seems I may be surrounded as he's got these guns aimed at him. And he's got the ballistic mask. That's the MTech. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before. The MTech Predator mask. It was used originally by Rangers and Special Forces. It's kind of out of date now, but the story actually takes place over a decade ago. This is back in, supposed to be like about 2012. And so he's using gear that was available in 2012.
Okay, that's why I was gonna wonder. I'm like, that is not a really sophisticated rifle, but okay, but back in 2012, okay, I get that.
Yeah, this is 2012, long before BLM and Antifa, and this is a different Seattle. So he's dealing with all these things, but I wanted to get a shot of this mask having been obliterated, and he's lost his Oakley ballistic goggles, glasses, whatever you want to call them. They were destroyed, and he's also got a strike to the head there. You can see, actually, there's a double strike. You can see above the hole in the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
There's another hit there. He's been hit in the face like 3 times, and the shotgun obliterated the material of the mask. And I just thought, this is not anywhere in my book. This is just something I wanted to see, and I wanted to draw it. And they're going to do a maquette of this. It's going to be a 1/6 scale and a 1/12 scale, depending on the contribution right now. It'll also be made available later to be purchased once it becomes a storefront. Once we're done with the campaign, a lot of the things will change, and I will add, you can buy some of these items all by themselves. And the maquettes, one, like I said, will be 1/12 scale and one will be 1/6 scale. The 1/6 scale will not stand exactly at 12 inches because he's slightly crouched. As you can see how he's holding the weapon. He's leaning forward. And it's going to be a full body maquette statue. And it's going to be fucking badass. My
nice
buddy of mine, Kendall Hart, is an artist out of the St. Louis area. And he's going to be creating it in 3D. And then my future son-in-law is going to be printing them in resin, which when it cures is harder than PVC.
Nice.
And I don't think I'm going to paint them. I don't think I want to paint them. I think I like the look of the artwork when it just looks like a statue without any. I like it with a slight patina. So I'll probably coat it with something, but I don't want to make it look like an action figure. I want it to look like a statue. And it's going to be this one where he's got the battle damage armor. It'll be cool. Hey, my awesome. Here. Fuck you, Kyle. I got a whole video I got a video over on Pop Culture Minefield that I play whenever he pops in. It's a scene from Renfield when the captain turns to the young detective or cop and says, "Fuck you, Kyle."
I still haven't seen Renfield.
It's a funny movie, dude. It's just silly as hell, but it's fun. It's so ridiculous, over the top. But Kyle's a good friend of mine. I love him.
I enjoy it.
Shinatsky's good. In fact, he's the one. Shinatsky in the chat. He's the one who made the animated trailer.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Shinatsky. That was good
cool.
job.
I'm very lucky. I have great friends.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm very selective of who I'm friends with too.
All right, so an hour and 50 minutes in, how about we hit up a topic?
Yeah, we're here.
This would not be the first time, Gary. Like we actually went an entire show for like 2-3 hours and didn't do one single fucking topic once.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Topics are
so this-
overrated.
Yeah, they are, but they carry on a conversation.
Well,
Absolutely.
if you're going to be talking about this, I definitely am very opinionated on this because Bob Iger, I've been bitching about him for a long time.
Mm.
Suck
In
my
fact,
balls.
when he acted like he went away, I'm like, he's
He
not
never
away.
did.
He wants his, and I predicted it. And everybody that watches Pop Culture Minefield knows I predicted he was going to get rid of Chapek and take his job back. He's going to try to be a hero because his goal is to become president of the United States. It's in his
He
book.
won't anymore though.
I read
but
your
he won't
book,
anymore.
Bob.
His family shut all that shit down, which is the only reason he's back at Disney now. Because
Well, I got to
Well,
tell
there's-
you, dude, this guy created every problem at Disney.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He created it.
Absolute
100%.
failure.
And
that was the
I
thing,
said, you cannot clean a dirty floor with a dirty mop. And that's what he's been trying to do because he's still spreading dirt in that company. And he's just worthless as tits on a board. And he should be. Nelson Peltz will fucking ruin his day if he gets those seats.
Because Nelson Peltz and former guy of Marvel, I can't think of his fucking name off the top of my head right now, but they know the real truth is this is all Bob Iger's fault. Everything
Yes.
boils down to Bob Iger, and Bob Iger is trying to pin it on
Kathleen
everybody
Kennedy,
else but himself.
all of it.
Yeah.
Feige, all of it. When he was one of the proponents that allowed Feige to spread that story, that the guy that's sitting up there now, I forget his name, that was running Marvel, at Netflix and all that shit. He was running Marvel Entertainment, okay, and got him fired. He was the one that lied about him, saying that
Called
he
him
was
racist.
preventing him from doing stuff. It was all fucking lies.
Mhm.
Kevin Feige started, Bob Iger helped propagate. And I'm just telling you, every single problem we've got right now at Marvel and at Star Wars, Bob Iger is at fault for.
Yes, hands down, 100%. And that's kind of the reason why I wanted to bring this up, because this is something that I have been talking about for literally, January 6th, it'll be 3 years. It's literally something that I've been talking about from the very beginning, is that the only way Disney is going to be fixed in any way, shape, or form is one of two things are going to have to happen. It's either going to have to go bankrupt, and all the properties are going to have to be sold off for scrap, which is actually it's funny because that's actually what we're seeing happen to Paramount now.
Yep.
But it's exactly what's going to happen to Paramount, which means Star Trek might actually get into the hands of somebody who actually knows it and loves it. We might actually get good Star Trek again. But what I always used to say was Disney needed either to go bankrupt and have to sell off their properties, or a shareholders revolt.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what we're getting. This is finally what we're getting. It's taken, many of us have been talking about this since 2018. Some people have been talking about this since 2015. The CFO, the former Disney CFO, is one of the guys that's involved with this. He's the one him and Nelson Peltz are the guys that they are pushing forward to get on the board. Go ahead, Gerry.
Kyle just said it. Zach's just said it. Ike Perlmutter.
Yes, Ike Perlmutter. Yeah, Ike
Perlmutter is the guy
Ike
he
Perlmutter
forced out and lied about.
Yeah, so Ike Perlmutter was the guy. Ike Perlmutter was
was
the guy inside of Marvel that was like, "Hey, you shouldn't spend this much money on these movies." Like Ike Perlmutter didn't really care.
He also stood against some of the stuff that Feige wanted to do. He said they'll make money.
Captain Marvel being a female, he knew that female heroes don't sell. No, that was another person that said that. I can't remember.
No, it was Ike. It was Ike.
It was Ike.
Ike's the one who
I thought
did it.
that was
Yes.
Todd McFarlane that said that.
No, Ike is the one who stood against that. And that's what Feige was spreading rumors about, like it was a bad thing.
Mhm.
And Keith,
and Ike
Keith, my partner, fell for that shit too.
Yeah, and Ike so much doesn't care per se about like the politics. Like the guy's not like an out conservative.
It's all about money.
Exactly. It's all about, to Ike, it's all about money. And that was his issue. He's like, if you want to make a Captain Marvel movie, go ahead with, female Brie Larson or whatever, but don't spend $300 million making that damn movie. You know what I mean? Spend $50 million, spend $100 million. Ike Perlmutter was the guy that was like, no. The purse strings need to be tighter on this, because if these movies fail, it's going to suffer. And that's what we've seen over the last year is Disney has lost every single quarter on Disney Plus. They have lost over $1 billion.
The funny part is, though, Common Nerd, is that a lot of people thought it was Victoria Alonso was the only problem. I'm like, no. Kevin Feige
hired all of these people. That's what everybody forgets.
Bob Iger and Kevin Feige. Everybody
Were
both in cahoots.
Bob Iger has been in charge of the Walt Disney Company for the last 20 years. And because he wanted to be run as a Democratic nominee, he wanted to run for president. He decided to hire all of these woke left-wing people to come inside of the company. So that way it would prop up his, woke points or his bonus points, his lefty liberal Democrat points or whatever. So that would make it be easier for him to run for president. Well, then his family went, fuck you. No, we don't want to go through all that bullshit. We don't want to deal with that. So while Bob Iger was retired, not really, he never left the C-suite. He never gave up his fucking dual shower, dual bathroom office. That's why he ended up coming back. And also because of the fact that now, and this is the same thing I say about Kevin Feige, which is why you see Kevin Feige and everything getting rewritten over at Marvel right now. They will sacrifice the woke. They will sacrifice whatever they have to do to save their agenda. Now, Bob Iger might not be like that, but Kevin Feige is absolutely like that. He will sacrifice the woke in order to save his status in Hollywood, right? As being the greatest, a Hollywood studio runner ever. Bob Iger, on the other hand, no, he believes that Bob Iger's ego believes that his path is the best forward. And no matter what, he will go forward with that. Now what we have is Nelson Peltz, and now we have the former Disney CFO, and we've got all of these people worth billions of dollars of Disney stock that are now going, no. We're not putting up with this bullshit. We're going to come in there, and I am excited for this proxy war because Disney officially has a civil war on their hands. There are the shareholders that finally come out of the woodwork, and they're going, no, we're not putting up with this anymore. And I think Bob Iger's ass next year is going to turn into ground chuck.
Well, if they have anything to say about it, because you got Ike Perlmutter and Nelson Peltz leading the pack, and do not mistake the mentioning of these guys by Donald Trump, because for him to bring them up shows that he knows what they're doing. This is going to be a hostile takeover. It will be very hostile, and the only thing more hostile would be if they use special forces to breach the offices.
Well, we also have I was about to go somewhere and I lost my complete train of thought. Ignore me.
Okay. No, it's
Oh,
okay.
don't worry. We do
this-
all the time. We're well versed in that.
Are we doing a show? What is this? Where am I?
Something like it.
But that's the thing is like these guys have like it's like one of those situations where I don't know what happened, but I think a lot of it had to do with the strike. Because Bob Iger used to be everybody's favorite in Hollywood, right? He was the guy that knew how to talk to talent, right? But as soon as those rumors came out about Bob Iger going, oh, we're just going to starve the artists, or we're going to starve the writers out, everybody in Hollywood, everybody in the legacy media knew exactly where that came from. I mean, Ron Perlman even made a video about it, basically calling Bob Iger out on that video. And it's like everybody knows where that comment came from. And Bob Iger is no friend to any of those Hollywood people anymore. And that's why they've all turned on him. That's why you've seen these news articles from Hollywood Reporter, from Variety, from all the rest of these companies going, yeah, screw Bob Iger. And yeah, this is not going to go well at all. So part of the press release, Peltz stated, in our view, Disney's board has failed to fulfill its essential responsibilities. Overseeing the development of an effective strategy, planning for orderly secession, which is once again a shot directly at Bob Iger because of the secession issues they've had, which the CFO that they are currently trying to fight for a board seat on was a guy that had been in Disney since like the late 1990s, been at like Disney for like 30 years, and also was originally supposed to be the successor for Bob Iger, but he left in 2015 for reasons we don't really know. Probably because he disagreed with Bob Iger, and Bob Iger will not have anybody on the board that disagrees with him. That's one of the accusations that's being made by Treon, which is the guys that now currently have like $3 billion worth of voting share as far as Disney. Treon is going out there and going, hey, you guys are screwing us over. You're losing us billions of dollars, and we're not going to put up with it anymore. And so they're coming after him. And that I think that old CFO, Nelson Peltz, and Ike Perlmutter, they've all got an axe to grind with Bob Iger. And I would be very interested to see if Bob Iger, I'm really curious to see how long Bob Iger actually lasts after this, because
I don't think he's going to last past 2025. I really don't. His career is over. I think any aspirations he ever had of running for office is gone. He's, he screwed himself. And so I have zero sympathy for him. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck Bob Iger. Hands down.
Agree.
By the way, Chaya Miller asked me a question earlier, and I wanted to respond to it. She asked, Gerry, where are you from? I am accent neutral, so it's hard to tell where I'm from.
A lot of us in the military, that.
It's because of how I was in theater for years doing drama.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm from the South. I grew up in Arizona. And when I was 8 years old, my father kidnapped me and took me to Virginia, hid out there. And so I do have, if you catch me and I haven't had sleep, I get tired.
Tired.
I get so tired. And my Southern accent will come out. And I remember one time I was doing a VFW event with my brother-in-law's restaurant. He owned a Mexican restaurant up in Seattle. I was feeding, putting chips and drinks out and serving food. And I went over to this master sergeant's table and I'm serving his wife and him. And I said, y'all want anything else to drink? This lady looked at me and her eyes lit up and she's like, where are you from? I said, I'm from Virginia, ma'am. And she says, say something else. What a quaint accent. The minute she said quaint, it pissed me off.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Dance
said,
for me, monkey, is what she's saying. Dance for me, entertain me.
And I said, would you like something fucking else at this point, ma'am? And her husband just started rolling laughing. Because I'm a giant fucking monster of a human being. My nickname when I'm bearded and long haired is Sasquatch because I look like fucking Bigfoot.
I had a dude want to fight me because I grew up in Vermont. I went back there after I spent 5 years in North Carolina, and I had y'all and everything else like that. And it came out when I drank, really, more than anything else. It came out when I drank, and I was at this fucking bar.
Y'all's the correct way to say anything.
Y'all's.
I say y'all.
And this fucking drunk ass dude asked me, "Where are you from?" Because I was talking with the fucking Southern accent. I said, "Oh, I'm from here. I grew up in Vermont." He thought I was bullshit. He's like, "Fuck you. Where the fuck are you from?" No, I'm from here. My accent changed because I spent 5 years in North Carolina. That's not how it works, man. Your accent doesn't just change. Yes, it does. Like, I had fucking buddies had to come over and be like, dude, he's from here. Fucking calm the fuck down. Fucking drunk ass.
Dude, we had one of our guys in when I was in the Air Force. He no bullshit. He was from like the sticks of Tennessee, and he sounded just like Boomhauer.
Like, I've met guys like that. It's hard to understand what the hell they're saying. But do you know?
Oh yeah, you couldn't understand the fucking thing he said. But after about 6 months of being on station, you're around all these other mixed. I swear it's something with the military. We all kind of lose our accents. We all kind of balance each other out by the end. Because by about 6 months, you could actually understand what the fuck Boomhauer was saying because he lost a bit of the accent. Because that's just the way it is. You adapt to your surroundings. That's the way humans are. So yeah,
I always picked up on that. Depending on who I was talking to, is where my accent would go. If I'm talking to somebody who's really Southern, then I'm talking y'all with a Southern accent. Well, I mean, now I'm trying to fake it, but if I talk to someone Northern, I'm sound Northern. Yeah.
My mom lived 5 years in Wisconsin, and if you ask her to say my house is by the ocean, she still says my house is by the ocean.
My house.
She still stretches her O's on certain things. Yeah, for living 5 years up there. So yeah, it shit happens.
I went down to Atlanta and I was eating at one of the official welcome stations of Atlanta, Georgia, which is also known as the Waffle House. They have one like at some exits have them on both sides of the highway.
Yeah. It's like in Fayetteville, outside of Fort Bragg, there's a Waffle House right across the street from each other at an intersection.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm in there and this guy says, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Virginia." He said, "Oh, you're Yankee." And I went, "I'm not a Yankee. I'm Southerner." "What are you talking about?" He says, "You're from Virginia. That ain't the South." I said, "Have you ever heard of the little thing called the Civil War?" Said, yeah. I said, "Yeah." "Where were most of the battles fought?" "Virginia." "Where was most of the command from?" "Oh, Virginia." "And where was the capital of the South?" "Oh, Virginia." "Fuck you. Give me my eggs." Then I got food poisoning. Fucking fucking asshole.
Yeah, that was from the Fermunda cheese he added on there.
Cheese. It's like, hey, what kind of cheese is that? "Oh, it's ripened wino dick cheese. It's really good." spicy.
I have a goal of going to a I just had it. Fuck, what's it fucking called? You just said it, Waffle House at 2 a.m.
Also
That is
known
my
as the
goal.
Waffle House.
I want to stream it at 2 a.m. That is my goal in life.
Dude, that's a regular fucking thing. Yeah, when I was at Bragg, Dermy, yes. There's a reason why people say back at Bragg, because there's a lot of fucking stores from Fort Bragg, all right? Yeah, at Fayetteville, yeah, we always, I mean, I went to fucking, Waffle House so many damn times when all the bars are closed. That's your regular fucking place to go to is Waffle House. And like I said, at that location, it's just, okay, which one's less busy? Okay, that one or that one. And then you kind of flip a coin because, yeah. I found a fucking cop, a female black cop, in a fucking alleyway behind Waffle House, passed out, sleeping in her fucking cop car. I knocked on the fucking window because I was concerned. I thought she was dead. She wakes up and starts fucking yelling at me. I'm sorry for being a concerned citizen. Fucking piece of shit, fucking cop. God dang. Saturday in fucking
she was
Vietnam.
a German Shepherd, wasn't it? She's a German Shepherd. It's okay.
What?
She's a German Shepherd.
What does that mean?
Okay, I'm using Drexel language. For those of you who are not aware of who Drexel is, this is a big black man. German Shepherds are a certain breed of human being that usually have weaves on. They talk a lot like this. They have the fake nails and everything like this. And, you know, they're always attitudes and everything like that.
That may be the best fucking impersonation you've ever done.
They're gonna come at you and go like, mm-hmm.
So the sassy black woman is a German Shepherd.
Yes.
I don't get it, but I'll go with it. Sure, yeah, she was probably a German Shepherd. I don't know. I couldn't tell over the fucking ridiculous, incoherent fucking yelling she's getting at me because I caught her fucking sleeping on the goddamn fucking job.
Most German Shepherds also pine for positions of authority and everything like that because they get to demean men.
Yeah, probably was. Big Rob is over here in the YouTube chat now. Worst decision, late night drunk visit to Waffle House. Enjoy it now, regret it later. Yep.
Well,
very much.
I got to tell you, the Waffle House has the best puke food for when you're drinking. And every single drunk night I ever had when I was younger, we would always end up at Waffle House in Lebanon, Missouri. And oh my God. And I didn't mind throwing it up later if I had to.
Fucking Lebanon. I lived in Lebanon for a year. That place
Missouri?
sucks.
Oh my God.
My first year in Missouri here was in Lebanon. Yeah.
I was asked to describe it once and I quoted Luke Skywalker. I said, if there's a bright spot in the universe, it's the furthest place from it.
What's so weird is that it looks like it's a big place because, so they call it Boat Town because what's the company here?
The boat manufacturer. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. That's the only place to work. That and Walnut Bowl.
It's one like the big. So Lebanon, Missouri is the biggest boat production town in the world. And somebody explained it to me is because not only do they make the boats, but most boat manufacturers will outsource. They get parts and everything from different places. It has to get mailed there. In Lebanon, they produce everything in Lebanon. Everything gets produced there on site. I wish I could remember the fucking company.
Is it Tracker Marine or is it Landau
Tracker?
Boat? I think it's Trackers when you're thinking of it. It's a big one right next to the highway.
Yeah, you see it right off the interstate. Yeah, when you're going down the highway, yeah, you see it's a massive fucking place.
Lee jeans were also produced there for years, and then that factory closed down, and it caused the town to go into a depression back in the 90s. They got Landau boats. They've got Tracker Marine, which I think is the one you're talking about.
It is Tracker. Yeah, I know there's multiple companies, but the fucking place is like, the city, like when you drive down the main street, I can't remember what the name of the street is. Like you get the impression that it's a big town, but there ain't shit to do there. There's fucking nothing.
It's
basically all production
there. I was there only because that was where my wife was from, and so we were living there. And when we got divorced, I'm like, I'm leaving this fucking town. And so when I got custody of Zoe, my daughter, I immediately moved to Springfield, Missouri, which is a nice place to live. I like living here.
Springfield is beautiful. My parents actually lived very close to Springfield for a long time. I was actually born in Nevada, Missouri.
No shit.
Yeah, that's the other thing I hate about this fucking place. They don't know how to pronounce cities' names. Like Nevada.
Dude, Missouri is so fucking weird. You have Mexico, Lebanon, which is a country, California.
You got Cuba. Don't forget
Cuba. Dude, like in Missouri, there's no fucking originality. They just steal the names of other states and countries.
Well, there's a very small town in Kansas called Canada.
I don't.
Blink and
Yeah,
you'll miss a town.
I believe it.
It's the only place there that says a boot. Oh
Now they sell maple syrup, man.
Yeah. Nah.
It's imitation maple.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh,
I think I went into maple syrup production on fucking.
I make fun of Missouri.
Was that on your show, Devil, where I was talking about how maple syrup is made?
Yeah, we went into maple syrup, and yeah, it was a weird conversation.
Wait.
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch this. Apparently, what you guys talked about maple syrup production?
Well, yeah, they if I remember right, they were talking about how something is produced in Canada because of the cold, and I went to because I grew up in Vermont, where it's like infamous for its maple syrup.
Well,
it's best produced there because of the cold and the soil conditions. Blah blah blah.
Devil, you need to have me on the show.
It was either on that or it might have been on Knife Hands. It was yesterday though, so it was either Knife Hands or that. Or no, that would be Thursday.
You mean on Dermy's show? I was on Dermy and your show last night.
It wasn't on Dermy's if he doesn't remember it.
Yeah, clearly. So it was obviously on yours.
It was on the pub.
Must be.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was fun. It was fun last night. I was drunk.
And you still haven't
The
invited
only
me on.
problem is you have to stay sober, Dermy.
Where's the fun in that?
By the time you get
coming on tonight.
I didn't get an invite. I just asked, hey, send me a fucking link.
By the time you
Devil,
got
send me a fucking link next week.
Oh man, you know something I loved about the military? Nobody complains more about things than the military. Not even truckers are bitch about things more than soldiers. Period. Military people live to complain, and it's true.
Well, depends on who you complain to, though, because if you
as a
complain
medic,
to the wrong person,
I was the guy that they would come to complain about shit.
Man, I should have been in the military. All I do is complain.
And that's why I won. Yeah, Dermy, I don't think you'd make it. But yeah, Gary, yeah, you have people complain to you. However, if you're if you're a young dumb private in a fucking infantry unit like the Lurse Detachment, you say one single thing that sounds like a complaint, and you will be fucking roasted. So yeah, there was no complaint allowed in my fucking unit.
By the way,
whatsoever.
Two fun things about the military. When you are forced to open any packages you get from family in front of everybody. When you get care packages, my dad was a dick. That's where I get it from, is my dad being a dick, because my dad would he did this to me. I was in Riyadh, and we got packages, and I got mine. It was a big old fucking care package, and it had weight to it. So I'm like, oh, I wonder what's in here. I opened it up. It was just full of crap that was not real. It was just a bunch of stuff like wads of paper packed in to give it some weight, other boxes put in there with other stuff. Nothing, no food, nothing in it. It was just an empty fucking care package.
Oh man,
because my dad was an asshole with one note that said, haha, son, the real package will be there next week.
If Adam was still in the military, I'd send him a vibrator.
You know,
oh my god, shit, bro. Okay, so they
don't do that anymore.
I got to tell you this. I'm in Riyadh. Okay, I'm in Riyadh, and it gets fucking cold at night there. There's no cloud coverage in Saudi Arabia, so all that hot air during the day just goes away at night, and it gets frosty cold, like below zero sometimes. Fucking cold. Okay, and so I told my aunt about that. He sends me, first I thought, is this a beanie? Is this a cap? She sent me a care package that had spiral cookies that have the date in it. It's really fucking good. You got to share everything now. That's the thing that sucks, because you got to open your care packages in front of the entire platoon. So I opened the box. Anything I had to share. And she sent me this thing that looked like a doily or something. It was hand knitted. And it took me a minute to figure out what this was. It was a penis warmer, or a Peter warmer. A hand-knitted penis warmer, to which two of my friends looked over and says, how's she know your size?
And the weird part was he had to share it.
So then-
The weirdest
I
part, it
threw
was
that
way
fucking
too
thing
big.
away, but yeah, it's a good. I like that. Got to share it. So I wrote my aunt. I said, please never send me anything like that again because I have to open these things in front of everybody, and that was horrible.
And so the next
Horrible.
package, you
I'm
get
never
20
gonna
more of
live it
them.
down. What you did. Also, one of my buddies from Virginia wrote me a letter, and on the outside of the envelope, I love you. I miss your penis. Just wrote all this nasty gay shit on the outside of the back of the envelope that got read by the. Oh my god, it got read in front of everybody, and I'm just sitting there going, "Oh, why do I have such assholes for friends?"
We had one of our guys get sent a package of Oreos in basic training.
Good
And
story.
so, like, dude, our instructor,
Sorry.
our instructor turned it over and he's like, it's got 170 grams of fat. He's like, you've got 170 seconds to get this down to the dumpster and throw it away, and you can eat as many as you want on the way. Like,
Yes,
my
they are
homeboy-
like
yeah.
that.
Dude, my homeboy busted his ass. He's like shoving Oreos in his mouth the entire time. It was so good. God, that was great.
So
Basic
big,
training,
Big
that's
Rob
fun.
over on the Rumble side said we talked about that on Thursday. My thing. Okay,
Oh,
so
Thursday,
it was on
okay.
Knife Hands apparently,
Yeah.
dude.
I was seeing
I have been. How many times do I have to say my brain does not work right? Okay, my memory is shit.
You're
Yeah, I was
retarded.
seeing-
We get it. Okay, you were dropped on your head. You did fucked up shit. You told people
Smashed
don't
my
fuck
head a couple
goats.
times in Iraq.
Yeah.
And also this is like okay. So Cam's crash course over in on Jerry's side.
She's a friend
So-
of mine.
So you know about Missouri. It sounds like you lived in Missouri, Lake of the Ozarks, which is where I live now. But you're in Vermont now, which is where I grew up. That's
Listen,
eerie.
she's very right. Listen,
Hmm?
she's very right. Okay, I identify as a Kansan because if I identify as a Missourian, I have to grow an extra foot on my. I have to grow an extra toe on my feet. Okay.
Now you actually just have to grow about six more brain cells, and that'll probably
No. Missouri is filled with very little brain
Look,
cells. They have like
look,
web
we-
toes.
we burned
We
Lawrence for a reason, okay, because of all the degenerates.
I
and all of the
burned
nasty
Lawrence.
happening.
Kansas burned Lawrence for a reason. Okay, Kansas went to war in Lawrence for a very
Oh,
specific
so you're
reason.
saying so you agree with the Missourians that we burned Lawrence for a reason is what you're trying to say right now, Dermy.
No, I'm saying Kansans. Okay, during Bleeding Kansas, they went to go to war against Lawrence and Missouri for a very specific reason. That's because Kansas was a free state, motherfucker. My family fought and died in that.
Get him, motherfucker.
Hey, I was here.
Kansas
I was
through and through.
my family was here since the Revolution, so eat shit, Dermy.
My family helped settle Kansas and was also here during the Revolution. So
I've got a
Okay.
question for you guys right now. I'll give you mine first, but I want to hear everybody's favorite insult you ever had said to you in the military by somebody that made you laugh.
So
That
it's
it was
only
so
those two.
fucking mean. But
Yeah.
when I was living in Springfield for first year in Springfield with my daughter Zoe, and my best friend Mac, veteran buddy of mine, we served together. We lived together. We jokingly refer to ourselves as heterosexual life mates because we'd lived together for a long time. We just liked each other's company, and we would talk. He would make me laugh like nobody. And we're at the store, and I'm methodical. I'm OCD. I'm methodical about everything I do. So when I go to the store, I go aisle by aisle and get everything I need from each aisle. I don't want to do that fucking run around shit. I want to get everything in each aisle. We get about 5 to 6 aisles down, and can't find the sauce I'm looking for to make dinner. And I said something about it, and Mac and my buddy Ultra Rob is there too. And yes, we call him Ultra Rob. It's his name. Even his mother calls him that after I gave him the name. And I'm sitting there, and Mac goes, "Oh yeah, that's back on that aisle from earlier." And I'm like going, "Did you know that at the time when we were on the aisle?" And he goes, "Yeah." And you know it was on the list, and you didn't bother to tell me or just grab it. And he goes, "I figured you'd figure it out on your own." And I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" It's like the most common thing I'll say to somebody. What the fuck is wrong with you? And he gets really fucking miffed at me. And he says, "Well, I'm sorry I bruised your pussy. I'll go get it." And he walks off, and I'm standing there like, what the fuck did he just say to me? What the fuck? And then I just started laughing, going, that is the meanest, most fucked up thing anybody's ever said to me. I'm sorry I bruised your pussy.
I'm not in the I've never been in the military, but I'll say my favorite insult that has ever been thrown at me is I'm the cum stain on the shirt of humanity.
I like that one.
I like that. That sounds like something that fucking Raster would say. Oh wait, that was just yesterday, wasn't it?
Common, what was yours?
Oh, we really didn't have any good ones because I mean, sadly, it was one of those things when I got in the military. Like my mom, I grew up. My mom was Army, and I grew up in like the Army world. Spent some time on Fort Riley, in Fort Riley, Kansas, and like hung out with a lot of those guys. It was really funny. There was one time like because my family is one of those weird ones where we always look older than what we are when we're young, and when we're old, we always look younger than what we are. So like I've looked 21 since I was basically like 15. And so it was like a bunch of the boys were fixing to go take me out, and they were going to take me out to Ginger's, which is a local club, a local strip club. Like we had they'd cut a lot of the cussing back by the time we got in basic training. So like, what the piss nut was like one of my instructors, all of my instructors like favorite like insults was like, what the piss nut, and it was always really funny because it was always something stupid. But one of the like I got my when I was in basic, my instructor, I can't remember his last name now, but his first name was Jesse, and the only reason I remember that is because it's the same first name as I've got. But it was really funny. He was instructing. We had some Brazilian instructors that were training with us. We're training with our flight, and he was like, "I'm going to teach them D. And I started laughing, and he just looks at me. I kind of giggled, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Think something fucking funny, Carlson?" I'm like, "No, sir." It's just like I was just like, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I unfortunately I got like I wish I would have enlisted earlier. I wish I would have been old enough to enlist earlier back when things were like a lot of fun. Like I miss the days of like I think it's proper for basic and training instructors to beat the fuck out of some of their guys.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's proper. If you're going to be as little smart ass, and guess what? We all signed that document, right? We all signed that line and went, good luck. Guess what? Like I had a really good friend of mine that was a Marine, and one of my other buddies, he was a Marine for like 10 years. And my other buddy was like, he was only a Marine for like 4 or 5 years or something like that. And he was always one of those, oh yeah, fuck all the rest of the branches. And my buddy, we were at the smoke pit one day, and my buddy Casey was trying to, rag on me because I was Air Force or whatever, and he was a Marine. And my other Marine buddy, who was also the guy that I had my first Thanksgiving with down here when I moved down here, which was so cool because we didn't have any family, we didn't have nobody down there. And he was like, "You're gonna come eat Thanksgiving at my house." And he was a great guy. He reminded me of my grandma Odessa, big old black guy, and reminded me of my grandma Odessa, and because of the way he cooked and everything else. But it was so funny because he was like, "I will never pick on any one of my other branches." He's like, because every single one of us signed that contract, signed that line up until, yada, yada, yada. And I was, yeah, up until
except
death.
Air Force, we'll still pick on them.
Oh, yo, it absolutely. And that's one of my favorite parts. That's one of my favorite parts about hanging out with military veterans, right? Like Gerry, you said that. What's one of your things, right? Most of your friends are vets. Why? Because we get along so much better. We
also understand the commitment better to friendship, that bond.
Yeah.
There's a level of friendship that you get from military vets that you just don't get from other people. I mean, you can still find that kind of friendship in society, but that commitment's not normally there with civilians. And I tend to shy away from civilians as friends unless I see that kind of commitment.
See, I agree with Chai saying this because we talked about this. Space Force is now the official one that really has no purpose in ever picking up a fucking gun. At least with Air Force, they have special reconnaissance. They got fucking PJs, all these fucking badass motherfuckers. Space Force, there's not a single person in Space Force at this point in time, at least, that has any reason to ever pick up a firearm.
They had an opportunity to look so badass this year when people were talking about the Tic Tacs and all that shit. And Space Force says, we don't know anything about that. That's not what we were created for. And it's like, now you guys look like pussies. All you had to do is say, we are here to defend Earth. And I was like, there, you would have won. You would have won for all the DOD the branches. You would have kicked ass, but no, you had to be FAGs about it.
Because Air Force Special Ops, like the TAC-P guys, and like there's another level above those guys. Because there's a great story we all have to learn when we're going through like Air Force training and stuff like that. Is one of those ones where it was like they had like Rangers, like it was like these Army Special Forces and like these Marine Special Forces that were stuck behind a rock, and they ended up sending a PJs in or something like that because our guys, our paramilitary guys, are the ones that are trained as medics and trained as infantry, like special forces guys.
Yeah,
and so
you PJs, you pair jumpers,
Yeah.
yeah.
so they
PJs
can,
are
they
awesome.
can they can give you morphine to keep you alive, and they also know how to torture you to death. So it's like
You know
those
what?
guys are
Well, that's,
crazy.
I mean, I have a tattoo on my arm that I got when I was in the Army. Train to heal, train to kill.
Yeah,
Right, it's
You
very
know what?
that's
simple.
exactly what it
Now,
was.
Adam,
up,
you
Devil?
don't get out of this because we got derailed. I wanted to know what
No,
your favorite.
I will. I will.
Yeah.
Devil, what are you trying to say?
I'm gonna say, oh, y'all can kiss my ass if aliens attack. ET comes down here starting some shit. You're all gonna wish. You're all gonna miss us, Space Force guys.
Shut up. Always
So
trying to get
Adam,
people
yours, and then I want to hear Devil's.
No, Devil's not. No, Devil's not military.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you're not military? All right, fuck off,
no.
Devil.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just a black Danny DeVito with a fucking kickstand.
Yeah, we keep him around
with
for
the kickstand.
diversity purposes. Diversity purposes. Diversity.
So I mean, yeah, all the worst shit that was ever said to me was
with
my
kickstand. That's what that's
Yeah.
from, Eddie Murphy. I love that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, dude.
all the worst shit that I went through was my first 3 years in when I was doing surveillance work with infantry long range surveillance, and yeah, I mean, every single NCO, well, not every single, all the senior guys at least were former 75th Ranger, but all the NCOs were Ranger tabbed at least, and they were fucking brutal. The unit was brand new too, so the first sergeant wanted to set a fucking precedence. And so I was a fucking cherry ass private, and I mean the worst shit there was I was sitting here trying to think of what was I know there had to be some original shit, but it just came down to it was just all fucking just brutal fucking nonstop fucking like hazing though. Like I tell a joke on here a lot that like I swear my first 2 weeks I thought my name was Fuckface because you just get it constantly. And the discipline was fucking insane. Like it just like you get just like some of the
Big
most
Rob.
tedious fucking tasks if you fuck up. Devil's the first to get probed by aliens. Yeah.
No. In Space Force, we say we do the probing. What the
Yeah.
hell?
But yeah, like, yeah. I mean, I literally did have one. We were in the field for FTX, and I got attached to one of the fucking teams, and I knew what I was doing. I was a good fucking soldier. I did everything fucking right, but this fucking NCO just was fucking brutal. I mean, he was just making me fucking hurry up. You're fucking too slow. I was not too fucking slow, but so because I was so pissed off at what an asshole he was, I started intentionally taking my time. Like he started doing this fucking countdown, right? He's like, you better be out of here in fucking 10 seconds. 10, 9. I had so much fucking time. I just like casually, I threw my ruck over my back and I slow walked to the fucking door, giving him a very proverbial fucking middle finger. I went around the side. And he literally tackled me like he was gonna kick my ass, and he restrained himself though. And I think somebody said like what happens in the army stays in the army. Some shit. We did have a thing like what happens in the field stays in the field. Meaning like if an NCO beats the shit out of you because you're being a dirtbag, ain't no one gonna say nothing about it. And I almost got my ass kicked by a fucking staff sergeant that day. And looking back, I would have deserved it. He was being an asshole, but I should not have been fucking so smug about it. I should have just gone ahead. But yeah, so like I can't recall any of the real original fucking insults or anything. It was just constant fucking berating, fucking hazing though. Like yeah.
I think my favorite thing that drill sergeants used during basic was fuck chop. The military has, because fucktard comes from the army too, or Marine Corps. Marine Corps brought that one about. It's a mixture of fucking retard. It becomes fucktard. Fucking pork chop means you're useless. So fuck chop is the way the army broke that into one word. They would do that. They would do these contractions. They would take these other words and turn them into one word. Fuck chop. I never got called a fuck chop, but guys around me were constantly being called fuck chops because they were just shitty soldiers. But I'm going to tell you 2 fucked up funny things that happened in the military. First one, during basic. I think I've told you this one before, Adam. When I was doing the first obstacle course, there's this one drill instructor, and it was the log, and he's got his legs, he's like this, crossing his legs underneath, locked in, and he can't move, and he's got his Smokey Bear hat on, he's staring down the line, not looking at me. And I ran up to go over this log, and I stopped, and I knew that he saw me peripherally. Stop, and I'm looking at him, because you can tell when someone's looking at you peripherally. And I'm just looking at him. I stopped for that like millisecond, it seems. And he turned and looked at me, and I yelled at him, "This is nothing like Stripes." And then I continued down the lane, and I could hear him chuckling behind me. Thought that was funny. Then the next time was while I was a medic full time. I was at permanent party. I had a guy come in, and he had gotten chafing on his dick.
Oh God!
Fucking his girlfriend. She had let stubble. She had let stubble occur. She was shaving it and let stubble, and it rubbed his dick raw.
No, yeah.
He's like, "What do I need to put on this?" And I said, "Oh my God, you know." And he's talking to me as I'm getting him a salve to put on there. "I'm not doing this for you. You do it yourself." I don't get paid enough to fucking do this. And as I'm telling him, he says, "Yeah, man, it hurts so bad. I faked coming." I said, "How did you fake coming?" He goes, "I squirted some piss in her."
What?
And later his girlfriend complained that there must be something wrong with his sperm because it was watery.
Oh my God. I knew a guy that faked a nut once time, but he didn't have to pee in the girl. He just
He peed in her.
like piss.
He said it hurt so bad he couldn't. He had to fake a nut, and he squirted some pee into her to make her feel that something went into her.
That's so gross. Oh my God.
Totally
That's not necessary. That's not necessary. So y'all tripped me out. Your fucking audience, like, okay, so you went from 101st Airborne and you got transferred into PSYOP as a medic, dude. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, my second half of my career I spent in PSYOP, 4th PSYOP group out of Fort Bragg. No shit.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. Golden shower. Okay.
It's more like a douche. It's a douche.
I was thinking about I was thinking about this the other day. Eventually, I've got Frank V pops in the chat from time to time. He was a staff sergeant when I was a private, eventually specialist in 74th Lurs. And at some point, we were talking. We're going to get some people on, and we're going to do a reunion show sometime. But I've been debating on whether I should tell this story beforehand or wait until we do the reunion story. But I became infamous in there because after we got done doing a training exercise with the soldiers from Czech Republic, we were in Germany, and they opened up a cantina in the holdover barracks that we're at, which means that they're serving alcohol there. It's a two drink max, but it was agreed upon. It was a silent agreement upon everybody. It's your first and your last, and everything in between is on you. In other words, you hold your shit and you'll be all right. Everyone's getting drunk, and I got drunk, and we were in a open barracks. No separate rooms. Well, there was separate rooms, so it was split in half, right? And I was on one half, and then I think it's like mostly NCOs and whatnot were in the other half. And apparently, my drunk ass, in a still asleep, sleepwalked into the other half, turned left, and then took another left. And looking back, I realized that this is the way that the bathroom was set up. So I was walking into the bathroom, turned left, took another left, and that's where the urinal will be, and proceeded to piss right on Staff Sergeant Davis's bunk. One of the meanest motherfuckers in the fucking detachment. Staff Sergeant Davis, fucking Ranger, expert infantry, fucking master parachutist, fucking every fucking badge you can imagine, and one of the meanest motherfuckers in the detachment, and I pissed on him in the middle of the fucking night. And the next 24 hours became the worst hell of my fucking life.
Wonder why.
Oh, it was bad. It was so bad. So, yeah, when those guys come on, they'll be able to, laugh about that and laugh in my face at everything I went through for the next day or so. Yeah.
We had something like that happen during boot. The other platoon on the other side of the barracks there at Fort Leonard Wood, and some reason they were doing construction on that part of the barracks. So instead of a door, there was a plastic curtain between us, so we could hear everything happening down there. During Zero Dark 30 at night, man, we were awakened by screaming and yelling from the barracks next door to us, and all of a sudden you hear that one guy stood up on another guy's bunk and pissed in his face at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Just decided to do this. And drill sergeant had them out there doing grass drills in the middle of the night. It was so everybody was punished for this incident. But that's what happened. One of the dudes stood on another dude and pissed in his face while he was sleeping. And he woke to it and a fight broke out.
What, as a prank though? I mean, he did
no,
it on purpose as a
the
prank?
dude that pissed on him did not like him, and that was his way of
saying "fuck you." I'm gonna piss on you.
I'm gonna piss in your face.
So what you're saying is soldiers are into water sports, huh?
There's a lot of water sports in the military.
A lot of weird shit happens. Yeah.
By the way, Chaya
Actually,
Miller,
did
I
happen.
followed you on Twitter.
Huh?
Chaya Miller.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
in the chat. I followed her on Twitter.
Yeah, it wasn't gay. Sure as hell wasn't gay for the 2-3 hours or however long it was that I spent fucking running and doing push-ups and every single kind of possible physical punishment I could possibly fucking go through. Yeah, I threw up. I think I threw up 11 times after that.
Did you go into complete, like, when it happened to me, I stood up to our first sergeant and I paid the price. The guys that were going to be punished, it pissed me off that he was going to punish these guys. I said, if you're going to punish them, you're going to punish me. And he was like, oh, really? He says, you guys sit down. And they sat down and he completely wrecked me on that hill. He put me on a hill, made me do setups and push-ups against the hill. And whenever my arms would give out, he'd roll over, do sit-ups. Tummy hurting? Roll over, do push-ups. And I did that until I went into complete collapse. I couldn't even get up. They had to carry me back.
I remember having to do fucking, I forget what the kind of sprint was, and then up, down goes, and fucking, oh my God, it was just so bad.
Mountain climbers
It
were
was
one.
so bad.
Lunges, whatever they call those, that fucking wore me out.
Mountain climb, dude, the fucking stats on days having doing just every fucking thing. It was the worst night of my life. I mean, I think I can easily say that. It was the worst fucking night of my life. It was so bad. Oh God! And then afterwards, like they didn't have us doing fucking Firewatch, but then because of me, then all of a sudden we had to do Firewatch for the rest of the fucking deployment, and everyone knew it was Piss Watch is what it really fucking was. And and then after that, then there's this sergeant who created fucking barriers, and every time I was about to say my name. Every time you fucking cross this barrier, you got to knock out fucking, I can't remember how many push-ups. Every damn time I had to walk by there, dude, that sucked. That's so bad. Fuck. Burpees. Yeah. No,
I feel you, man.
I don't remember burpees. I never even learned what burpees were. They didn't have us doing that. Yeah. Piss watch. Is that a stress test?
You're standing up with your hands on your hip, and then you drop to the ground, and you got to get back up. I don't think we ever did those in the Army. We did grass drills, and there was lunges, mountain climber, there's push-ups and setups. In the Army, you don't have push-ups. They're called front-leaning rest position. They don't call it a push-up. They'll go 1 quarter to the right, move, and you turn
front-leaning rest position.
Front-leaning rest position, move.
Well, the exercise was still called push-ups. Just the position is called the front-leaning rest.
They'll say push-up position, front-leaning.
No, they don't say push-up position. It's just like even in the manual, it is still called the push-up, but it's just that position is called the front-leaning rest position.
Front-leaning rest position, and my favorite one, because never once in the military did I ever hear drop and give me 20. Never heard any number ever given, because the way sergeants, officers, anybody that's going to punish you, they're not going to tell you how many they're going to give you. They're going to go until you're punished, and they'll watch you, and they'll just say, beat your face. That's what they yell. Beat your face. Go until I'm going to make you do push-ups until I'm tired.
Yeah. I had one time. The entire team got punished, and all he said, he just put us on automate. Basically, he said, "You guys all just do whatever you can, and just once you drop a drop of sweat, then you can stop." So we were able to do whatever exercise we wanted, but then once we weren't able to leave, this is end of day. We weren't able to go home until we dropped a bead of sweat. And he just sat there. He was doing work. He's just sitting on his fucking computer. Yep. Fun times. Front lean in rest position. Go. Yes, Cam.
And people think that getting smoked is only something that happens during training. No, and that's one thing we laughed about when we went to see that movie, The Hurt Locker. When he talks shit to his senior NCO in front of everybody, I said, in real life, the guy would have smoked him right there. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Fucking wrecked him. That shit goes on. Permanent party, it happens. And they have that permission to punish you physically. Corporal punishment in the military. They can't beat you, but they can make you do push-ups and shit like that, which you wish you'd been beaten when they're done.
What I fucking hated was when I went through PLDC, which is sergeant school essentially.
Right.
They try to teach us how to correct a soldier without using physical, using fucking smoking them or anything like that. And they really tried to get this into our head that it's not effective. And I'm like, motherfucker, bullshit, it ain't. I fucking went through Lurst detachment as a fucking cherry fucking private, and I was scared every fucking day of getting smoked by the fucking sergeants. Bullshit, it ain't fucking effective. And I argue with them. I had one, I can't remember what the fuck I did, but he made me write a fucking like 500 word essay. And I basically gave him a fucking middle finger, and I gave all the fucking reasons in my experience and when I was going through and fucking in the 173rd about why that kind of punishment is very fucking effective. And I know damn well he never fucking read a single word of it because he didn't say shit to me. It was a proverbial fucking fuck you. I ain't buying this fucking bullshit. But yeah. We're coming up on 2 hours, 43 minutes. Let's go ahead and wrap this up, guys. I think it sounds like everyone's getting quiet. Dermy looks like he's falling asleep.
I got to take a nasty Shinatsky.
A nasty Shinatsky.
Yeah, and then I'm going to have to wipe my...
We do have one other thing we should, that's in the title at least, that we should talk about real quick before we head out.
Skinamax?
Just see if anybody's interested in it. Just see if anybody's interested in it.
Sure.
All right. So Rebel,
I know Chai always wants more. Chai's always sad whenever we're getting ready to leave. I love you, Chai. You're awesome.
Yeah, she's great. So this is the only other thing that was in the title that we wanted to talk about. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for Rebel Moon yet.
I'm not interested in this thing at all.
Well, and that's one of those things. It's like everybody's a little bit different when it comes to this. And but the critics are hate it. It's not the first time that Zack Snyder has got the critics hate it. The audience score right now is currently at 72%. Not sure how there's an audience score yet, considering it's not supposed to come out until next year. But apparently some people have gotten it earlier. But as of right now, once again, as most Zack Snyder movies have been out there,
I just realized my mic's been muted. It's actually out right now over in the UK, I believe. So you can. I think it might be out on UK Netflix. So if you want, their friend is Jack Sparrow.
Well, if you use a VPN, can't you look at it?
Well, yeah, but what I'm trying to imply is more than likely because it's coming out on streaming and select theaters. I don't know if it's out in theaters in the UK, but if it's on Netflix in the UK, your friend Jack Sparrow might be able to help you.
There you go. So I just didn't know if anybody. I know. Gary already said he's interested in this. Dermy, is this something you're interested in? Have you seen the trailer? Is it something you're excited about?
I haven't seen the trailer. I know. My buddy Renaissance Nerd, he's super interested in it just because it's more up his alley because he does a lot of Star Wars stuff and everything like that. He's big into Star Wars. I have no interest whatsoever, and I think this goes more to say that not just how Zack Snyder makes me feel, especially after the stream from hell, essentially is what I'm going to call it. I think it goes to say my real interest in Star Wars is basically non-existent. Like if I had interest in Star Wars, maybe I would be willing to watch this and check it out, but I just couldn't give a shit. It's cool that it's a brand new IP, but it's a retread of his original Star Wars script and everything like that. So that's why it's happening.
Definitely. Any thoughts?
I'll watch it if people I trust say it's good, but I'm not like looking forward to it. I'm not like, oh, ooh.
If Adam says it's good, I'll check it out.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If Adam says it's good, I'll probably watch it.
Well, and that was one of the things a lot of people, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are like major Snyder Bros. And so it's one of those situations. It's one of those things. It's like it was one of the situations where it's like a lot of people, like, you know, Zack Snyder's had a lot of really bad, like the critics have never liked him to begin with. I think the idea of a new property, I think, is always good. I like the fact that his wife was even like, yeah, no, we wanted to do this on our own kind of thing. She's actually glad that it wasn't a Star Wars story. So I'm going to be really curious to see how this ends up going. And I will be doing a 24-hour stream starting next Thursday or next Friday night. And we're going to watch Rebel Moon and we're going to check it out. We'll see if it's going to end up being worth things. So.
Is it bad that I'm more excited for Aquaman 2 than Rebel Moon?
That
I'm not
actually is
watching
kind of sad.
either.
That is pretty bad.
That is pretty bad because
Well-
Aquaman is part of a failed and done universe.
I take a look at like the Aquaman 2 trailer. I've watched all of them.
Yeah.
That actually looks kind of interesting and exciting. I have just zero care for Rebel Moon. Like it's cool. It's a new IP. That's cool. I
Well,
just
There's a
An
chance I might
action
watch
film
Rebel
is only
Moon.
as good as its action scenes. And what lost me was when they show her fight the two guys and she throws out those noodles for arms to block two 250-pound men
Yeah.
throwing punches,
that-
and she blocks them, stops their punches with those noodle arms. I'm like, nah, I'm out. I cannot stand that stupid shit.
I
mean,
agree that
the-
sounds stupid, but it's
Snyder-
I'm there's a chance I might watch this one. There's no chance I'll watch Aquaman. Dude, fuck that.
Snyder has made movies that I like. I like Snyder Cut. I think Snyder
Ditto.
Cut is a good movie. I like 300. I like
Ditto.
what is it? Watchmen. Even if it's a takeaway from, it's not accurate to the comics. I do like his Watchmen, and I do like his zombie movie. What was it called? The first one, not the one that was on Netflix.
Gonna say what?
Fuck, what was it? Night of the Living Dead, something like that, or Day of the Dead, or whatever, when they're trapped in the mall and everything like that.
Yeah.
I like
Oh,
that movie. He has movies I like. He has movies I'm not so fond of. It is what it is. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, you name it. I can tell you all sorts of movies I don't like from him. But
So it's Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
That's
thank you.
right.
I like that one's actually really fucking good.
I enjoyed it. I prefer the original, but I did enjoy that film. What I didn't like was his new films that took place in Vegas was the first one.
Yeah, everyone
that-
hated
yeah.
that.
I just thought it was
Yeah.
dumb. I've been around chopper pilots, man, and Tig didn't act like any of them. I'm like, they should have kept the original actor and just not fucking hired her. She's a terrible actor.
Didn't they have to, wasn't the original actor like Me Too'd or something like that? So then they
Something like that.
CGI'd him. they
Hollywood
CG
loves to do that shit. They we better get rid of them. They're gonna bring the show down. Well, they're still associated, dipshit.
Yeah, and then you have the weird shit going on with like Jonathan Majors right now, where you don't know where that one's gonna line up. That is very interesting, and it very might be that he's a
It didn't happen. He was doing, and then he was the one trying to avoid contact, and then some people are like, yeah, he was acting crazy, and I'm like, I don't know. It's a he said she said situation. I don't
It is-
care. I'm going to keep out of it.
it's a I've been covering it and stuff. It is a he said she said situation, and how it looks like is definitively like they were not good for each other, and they were both awful to one another.
There you go. You know, and I love it when we got to find one person to blame. There were two people. It takes two to fucking tango. Bill Burr said it a long time before he got cucked by his bitch wife. He made that comment, and you know what I'm talking about when she flipped off. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Hey, Cam and Jack, take care, guys. Thanks for being here.
Oh, they're leaving. Bye, guys. Bye, Cam.
Bye, guys.
All right, Jack. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Always good to see you, my
Right.
friend.
So we're gonna I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about that. I got the banner going on the bottom. If anyone wants to buy one final shot before we end up wrapping up, be greatly appreciated. Also, big shout out and love to all the members out there. Remember, in the credits, we're not ending right now, but in the credits, all y'all are in the credits now. Yeah, I love every single one of you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, was there anything else left on that topic that you want to talk about, Rebel Moon?
No.
No, there wasn't really too much. It was just kind of one of those things. It's like color shock. The critics hate it. A lot of people are like, yeah, that
What
probably
was
means
it
it's gonna be really good.
I couldn't hear your mouth was away from the mic. What did
Oh,
you
sorry.
say?
No, basically what it came down to was that a lot of the critics hate it. Color shock there. They don't like a lot of
Rebel
the
Moon.
Snyder stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rebel Moon. They don't like Zack Snyder. They never have. Not for a long time.
There are things
The
from him
fans
like
seem to love him.
Dermy said, man. I think it was Dermy. You said it
Yeah.
about some of the stuff. I love Zack Snyder's early work. What I don't like is like he doesn't
shock.
understand Superman at all, and
Mm-hmm.
neither did anybody who wrote that script,
Chuck,
Jonathan
man.
Christopher Nolan,
Night.
and Akiva Goldsman. None of them understood Superman, and so there was. Every time you see Batman, it's problematic. Batman, on the other hand, I think he handled okay. It was still the Dark Knight. He is fixated with Frank Miller's Batman, which is not the definitive Batman, but that's the Batman he loves. So every time you see Frank Miller's Batman, you're seeing, every time you saw Zack Snyder's Batman, you're seeing Frank Miller's Batman.
He could probably do a fantastic Batman.
Oh,
Not that he
absolutely.
probably could have.
Because he's dark. He can get into dark stuff. What he doesn't understand is somebody like Superman, which a great director who made, the first 1978 movie said that you've got to do Superman as a Boy Scout. And if you don't do him as a Boy Scout, you don't have Superman.
I'm a firm believer of one of the things that you have to do in order to fully understand Superman is understand Kansas. You got to understand where he came from.
And the other thing I hated about his movie was the representation of Jonathan Kent. Because Jonathan Kent, the shit that he said in that movie was fucking ridiculous. Now, they tried to make up for it in the next film as the ghost appears to him on that mountain. And all of a sudden, we're getting more Midwestern style commentary about who you need to be as a man. That's what we needed to see in the first Man of Steel film. Instead, we got this guy, maybe you should have let him die. Well, then attention would have really been drawn on him. That why did he alone survive? That was just dumb, bad writing. And whoever thought of that, now I don't know if it was Christopher Nolan or who it was, that was just stupid. I mean, absolutely, if he had been the only survivor, then attention really would have been put on him.
I think for the most part, because Christopher Nolan was planning on doing Man of Steel, I think for the most part it was Snyder that ended up writing the whole script and doing the directing.
Well, I
But
know
don't
that
know
he
how
was
much.
told to do he was told to do the script. Because this is something Keith and I did some research on. Keith is my partner on Pop Culture Minefield. And we did the research. And basically, if he wanted to do his Justice League film, which is what the whole deal was on, or Justice Society, I can't remember which one it was. Keith will know. Keith knows the answer to this. But basically, he was told, shoot the film as it is, and you'll get your deal. And they did the exact same thing with him and pushed him to do the Batman versus Superman instead of Superman 2. Which was still, it's like basically they were Darth Vadering it and changing the deal with Zack. So he got kind of screwed. And so I have a lot of empathy and sympathy for him in that department. But when it's all said and done, he still doesn't understand Superman.
Yeah.
And he should not touch Superman.
Even when it comes to his Snyder cut, it still doesn't feel like Superman.
Exactly. I have a fan edit by a friend of mine, Agent 9. He's a professional film editor. He did the entire film with the John Williams soundtrack, and it's gorgeous. And he beefed up some of the scenes, and he fixed the color on the uniform, the Superman uniform. So it's the right colors. And it's a really good fan edit.
I like the black suit. It just...
Oh, that's in BVS. I was glad that they put that back.
Snyder cut does have the black suit.
Yeah, the Snyder cut of Justice League. League.
Snyder cut has black suit. What's his fuck that did Buffy? Did the other one that is?
Oh, Joss Whedon, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
he's an idiot. I can't stand him. I don't think he's a very good writer. People go, but didn't you like Buffy? No, I like the movie. I didn't like the series. Well, what about Firefly? Didn't like it. I like the movie. I didn't like the series.
Serenity's good. I haven't seen Firefly itself. Just
I
because
I watched the movie first, and then I had to go back and watch the show because of that, and I love the show. That's not as good as the movie. I mean, especially production wise, it's not as good. But story wise, though, it's still a great fucking show.
My problem with it was that the studio, Fox, showed them to us out of order, and that's what fucked me up on it, and why I didn't like it, because it was just didn't flow, and that's because they aired the episodes out of order. If you didn't know that.
When it comes to Firefly, it really feels like they wanted to cancel it before it even came out, so they fucked it all up on purpose.
Yep, that's exactly the way it feels. But even after watching the series, I enjoyed.
Self-destruct agrees with me.
It's a Western in space, and I love that.
Yeah,
but the movie was awesome.
Yes, the movie was awesome, and yeah, it's unfortunate that I didn't know it was a TV show, to be honest. Actually, I watched it when I was in Iraq on my second tour, and everything was down. We had this fucking server that everyone would like upload like shit to. So I mean, we had a big fucking list of movies and TV shows and shit available. The movie had just recently come out, and I remember seeing the trailers for it. I didn't know there was a show. I don't know how I missed it, but so I found it on the server. I watched the movie, and then I learned it was a show. And God, I wish I would have done it right and watched the show first. But I am a big fan of it, though. It's still is not something I'm not such a fanatic. Like there's so many people out there who thinks it's so great, and they're fucking like they're sending letters, bring it back. I'm not like that. I haven't like felt the urge to even go back and watch it, but I enjoyed the fuck out of it. It was a good show, and especially was a damn good movie.
Yeah. Now, what I liked from Buffy was not Buffy the series. I liked the spinoff series, Angel. That was a damn good show.
I haven't seen Angel. I like Buffy up until the final season. I need to finish it still. But I watched it all wrong. Apparently, you're supposed to watch Angel alongside Buffy. And
no,
I just refuse to do that.
I'm one of those guys that have to watch everything. I
remember
can't do that jumping back.
Yeah, I remember enjoying the show, but it wasn't something really that I had to watch. I didn't watch the whole thing, and I never watched Angel.
I would say, but the reason I like Buffy is because of certain characters and just how they interact with each other. The final season just falls off a cliff, in my opinion.
Yes, child, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We're not talking about. We're watching a show about Buffy from 90210 or whatever the fuck. Buffy, yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Also, I want to point out. I wanted to point out that Perdido, who made the comments about Navy has always been forthcoming with how gay they were. That's why Submariners stand watch Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh means red shirt and nothing underneath. So naked from the waist down. I have never heard anything like that. I don't understand why they'd be standing watch naked from the waist down. But thank you for pointing that out. That does confirm the Navy is gay. Appreciate that.
During Basic, that reminds me, Julio is my best friend from Basic and AIT. We hung out together all the time. He's just my best bro. And we had to pull guard duty one night. Because during Basic, you're going to do KP and you're going to pull guard duty. Okay, it's going to happen. KP. And we go ahead.
KP is a kitchen duty for those who don't know.
We had to guard a cow pasture. There were 2 folding chairs out in the middle of a fucking cow pasture. And we sat in the middle of the night. They had a floodlight about 50 yards from us. And we just sat there out in the middle of this field, and we had to stay there until we were properly relieved. And we started talking about our girlfriends, and it got to sexy talk, about our girlfriends, just how hot they were. And he gets up and he says, I got to take a piss. And he's gone for like 15, 20 minutes. And I'm like, where the fuck is he? Like, what's taking him so long? Finally, he comes back and he admits that he'd gone out there and rubbed one out in the middle of this fucking cow pasture. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why would you do that?
I heard, I don't know. I think this happened in a company when I was in the 173rd over in Italy. So I heard the story that some dude, when we were on a fucking training detail where we had portal shitters, some dude was fucking going into the porta john and rubbing it out so often that he got dehydrated and had to get a fucking IV.
I've done that.
I'm
In a porta shitter? In a fucking porta john?
Not in a porta shitter, but I've dehydrated from rubbing it out.
Dude, in a porta john, and it was hot too. There's no doubt. The dude's in there fucking wanking, sweating his fucking ass off. So in a porta shitter, sniffing fucking literal human shit so much that he had to get a fucking IV.
Oh man,
no, I'm out of here, guys.
Oh, Devil, it's nice meeting you, dude.
Yep, nice meeting you.
I need to go as well, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna close it out. Devil and Dermy, video description below. Check him out. Check out Beazelhub for Devil Made Me Do It there.
It was good to meet you, Gerry.
It was nice meeting you too, Dermy. I'm going to give you one little story. It's not a full story. I'm just going to tell you what happened. Everybody was complaining going into one of those old Fort Leonard Wood shitters out in the middle of training fields. Okay. These are ones that have been around since World War I, World War II. Okay. And it's just a big, long bench with holes cut in them. Wood bench. And you shit down into a big fucking hole in the ground. And you're right next to a guy. And I'm like, everybody's like going, oh, it smells so bad. And I'm sitting there going, we've got pro masks, you fucking idiots. And I put my pro mask on when I went in to take a shit. And everybody was like, oh, fucking Kissel knows what to do. And everybody started masking up and I'm like, this is much better. And I'm telling you, man, it was the way to go in the military. If you're going to go into a shitter, put your pro mask on.
Oh, that is actually kind of funny. I can stay to say this. I used to do Boy Scouts and everything like that. I went to summer camp.
You used to do Boy Scouts.
Yes, I know the phrasing.
You said it, dude. Phrasing.
I'm awful with phrasing. Okay, I used to be in Boy Scouts. We had our own summer camp, and those bathrooms smelled like death.
Old latrines.
It was just a hole in the ground essentially, and it was never something you wanted to go into. I actually saw a snake and a tarantula crawl out of those toilets once.
And they said, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, the rule was always squat, don't sit. So
yeah, don't sit on those things. Good way to get bit by a black widow.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out, guys. Have a wonderful night.
Later, Dermot. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Yeah, floating guns. Yeah, there you go. Dude, one time. Okay, so I mean, yeah, when you're in the army, you find yourself having to take a dump in a lot of weird places.
Dude, yeah.
I remember when we went for cold weather training in northern Italy, up in the mountains, and they brought a fucking porta shitter out there, and it was the fucking most fancy fucking porta john I've ever seen. It actually had a flushing ability. Like you'd step on this fucking thing and it would run water through the thing. Same thing also it had a fucking, you can wash your hands. Like the fucking Italian fucking porta john was like the Cadillac of fucking porta johns. Yeah. But it was for a cold weather exercise. It was frozen fucking solid. We were dumping on a block of fucking ice.
The water lines. Yeah.
Oh, but also I don't remember where it was, but I think we were I think it was at a rifle range. No, it was in Europe. We were doing cross train with another country, maybe Hungary, and they had a wooden porta john set up where there was no separation. There's 3 fucking holes on a fucking platform of wood that you're sitting in. It's still inside a building, but like you said, so you sit and you got to position yourself over this fucking over this hole. But I mean, in any case, thank God I never had to take a dump in there while somebody else needed to. I did have to do that in fucking Iraq. I'll tell that story another day. But you can't help but fucking get your fucking dick and balls on this fucking wood. And it didn't even occur to me to fucking worry about it. But I had growth. Like shit, like something like I don't know what the fuck I got, but I got something. My fucking dick was like itching shit for like 2 fucking weeks. Thank God it went away. It wasn't anything permanent, but yeah, some fucking nasty motherfucker dropped their balls on there, and I fucking picked up on it.
Ew.
I know, dude. I was just more worried about making sure I'm getting my fucking asshole over this goddamn fucking sawed out fucking piece of wood. Wasn't even conscientious of them. Maybe I shouldn't let my fucking dick and balls touch the fucking plywood.
I think, by the way, that was one of the worst things I hate about being a medic.
Oh
Where
yeah,
that
you had to
dude's
see all
sitting
the
up in a
grossest
bunk,
shit, didn't you?
and guys would just walk up and flop their dick out in front of me. They're like, "Is this look right?" I went, "No, because it's in front of me. Get it the fuck away from me. Don't point that
Dude,
thing at me."
we got done with a fucking training mission one time, and this dude fucking was complaining like you know his junk was like there's something wrong with his junk. I was on the other side of the tent. He whips it out, asking his buddy, "Hey, can you take a look at this?" And the fucking stench got all the way over to me like that, and I was about to fucking vomit. It smelled so bad.
Ugh.
Oh,
I can smell it right now because I smell
you know the smell. You
know
know
the
what it
smell.
is. Oh yeah. What was the fucking term? Like what would we call it? Like just when you fucking your shit gets too wet and it fucking funks up.
Yeah, the musky smell.
Yeah, just
I think the smell that will stick with me for life was I was in a paramedic up in Washington. And it was like I was just starting. It was like I was early. I was still kind of new from being a combat medic to doing civilian shit. And this woman, older woman, had eaten something and made her sick. Okay. And she's like, as I'm doing my report, asking her questions, interviewing her, she's like telling me she's emptied out. She's vomited all she could vomit. She's done. I get her in the back of my rig, and I'm teching the call, which means you've got the driver and the tech, and we rotate call to call. That way, everybody gets a chance to drive, and everybody gets a chance to tech a call. So I'm teching the call, and I'm back there with her, and she's like told me multiple times I've emptied out. There's nothing left. And then she says, I'm feeling a little nauseous. I might have a little bit to come up. And I said, well, do you need a bucket or do you need like something like an emesis basin? She says, it's not going to be very much. I'll take an emesis. So I got an emesis basin. If you don't know what that is, it's a little curved tray it's cups a little bit. It's really small. So she could spit in it. And she fucking projectile vomited like about a gallon into this thing and it got all over me. Some of it went in my mouth and in my nose.
No.
And I just let go of it and I flew through the hatch. There's a door between the back cabin and the driver's section. I threw open that hatch and flew with my face right into the air conditioning unit. And I'm like, just sucking air out of the air conditioner because it smelled like pickled deviled ham.
Oh, God. Oh.
And it was just so disgusting.
Oh, that sounds so bad.
And it's still not the worst thing that ever happened to me. Because I've had a lot of really bad things happen to me as a paramedic.
Hey, Jesse, I appreciate you dropping my link, dude. I just realized I've got to update that because I did change my name to at Soldier Spirit 1. I haven't even realized. I just tried it. Like this account doesn't exist. Yeah. I appreciate what I'm saying is I appreciate you doing that because I know that I have to update it now. Oh God. Okay. Well, I'm so glad that we can leave everybody with all these amazing visuals.
Yeah,
and
try it once more. You got to join me on my show. And
I hope everyone can smell it. I hope everyone can. You got the sensation. You can smell.
There are distinct smells to certain things that stay with you once you've smelled them. Death, the smell of a human body decomposing. I know that smell when I smell it. It's just like I'll stop and I'll go, I know that smell. I don't want to go in there.
Thankfully, I've never actually had to experience the smell of decomposing bodies, but
I have a lot. I think one of the I will tell you one last prank that was done on me by a cop. I show up to a call. The cops are standing there. It was a suicide, and I was told by the cops, bathroom. So I go walking into the bathroom there. It's dark in there. Candles are lit in the bathroom. And there's this guy laying in the tub quiet. And I walked over because you got to do this. You got to check, see if there's a pulse. Even though I've been told he's dead, deceased, I still have to do that.
Right.
And so I check the pulse and the guy fucking screams.
No shit.
And I jumped up and I'm like, what the fuck? And the cops had pranked me. The dead guy was in the bedroom. That was the boyfriend.
Oh, God.
Taking a calming fucking bath because his boyfriend committed suicide. And
they pranked you with that?
the cops did, dude, seriously, man. I've got fucked up stories. There's a reason my PTS exists from shit that happened to me as a paramedic, because there's some fucked up shit, and a lot of it involves law enforcement and the shit they'll do.
Wow.
And
Yeah, that's
I think my favorite moment with a state trooper was I had to pick up a body. I was still the new guy, and I had to pick up the head of a motorcycle versus motor vehicle accident. And the motorcyclist was decapitated. His helmet and head went about 50 yards down the road, and it's sitting there on the side of the road. And it's like somebody says, well, someone's got to get that head. New guy. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I go grab that medical grade hefty bag, and I go walking down there. And I hear the sound of heavy, hard soled footfalls behind me. And I look slightly to my left, and I could see the state trooper with this big old Smokey Bear hat on. He's like, don't worry, buddy, I got your 6. I hadn't been in the military yet. I'm like, what the fuck has got your 6 mean? I don't know what that means. But I'm like, oh, okay. So I go up there, and then he speeds up a little bit and goes past me and gets in front of me, and he's already gloved up, and he grabs the helmet, flips it open side up so the head won't fall out. And he walks over to me, and I open the bag, and he starts to put it, then he stops. And again, it's a moment where someone's looking at you, and you can tell when someone's looking at you when you're not looking at them. It's just something you peripherally pick up. And so I just automatically looked up at him, and he's just looking at me, and he says, good thing he had his helmet on, huh?
Oh my God.
And this is what I did. I went, he bagged it, and I'm like, why the fuck did I laugh at that? Like, what the fuck? And that state trooper would devil me so many times. He would say the most fucked up, inappropriate things, but he would always say it to me. Nobody else could hear it. He would say it to me, and I would just chuckle. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Well, so I mean, same with them. Same as the military. You know, you go through so much fucked up shit, and the way to get past it is just make a joke out of it.
Yeah.
That's why the military is a bunch of degenerate fucking motherfuckers. Yeah.
Yep. Gallows humor. I learned gallows humor from being an EMT, and then it worked well with the Army too.
Yeah.
So that's it, man.
Yeah. Well, I was about to start. Go ahead. We can start closing out things. I was going to go to Jesse and say, "Hey, do your outro," but he's gone. So, Gary,
like, fuck you guys.
I'm sure he's off taking a piss. But why don't you go ahead, Gary? Say what you want to say. Promote your shit.
I'm doing this book. It's so important for it to be done because veterans aren't made to be heroes enough. And I get tired of celebrated people not being veterans. And so I want to create books about veterans or about soldiers. I want them to be the heroes. And so this book is important. I'm hoping people will support it. I hope fellow veterans will support it. You don't have to pay much. We have a $10 basic entry. You can even do $1 if you want. It's $15 if you want to be mentioned in the back of the book. And with that, you'll get a thank you in the back of the actual book. And on top of that, you will get a digital copy of the book. $25 is when you get an actual copy of the printed book. That's not published, but that will be a printed book. It won't have the label of whoever's going to distribute it. It's just going to have my logo on it, which is 91 Bravo Studios. And 91 Bravo is what I was as a combat medic. They changed it right after I got out to 68 Whiskey, which is what it still is currently, 68 Whiskey. And I think that's combat medical specialist is what it's called. I think that's the official name for medics today.
Sounds about right. I won't be able to tell you.
For $15, I will swallow this drink.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Yeah, that's what we do here. For money, I swallow things. Usually it's in the form of beer or whiskey, though. Not what you're implying. Pervert.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you, Gary.
And privately. We can talk.
Also, much appreciated to everyone who is watching over there on Pop Culture Minefield. Welcome to Vets Talking, everybody. Hey, if you haven't checked it out, drop the G and you'll find me. Come check us out, man. We're always here every Saturday at 10 o'clock Eastern and every Thursday at 10 o'clock Eastern as well with knife hands. So come check us out.
And you need to help me because even though you're not going to do it with me, I still want to do Dangerous Nerds again.
Dude, I'm down to be on. Yeah, I mean, we talked about the reason why that just didn't work out for me for a permanent gig, but I'm down to be on as a guest. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't mind a rotation, but I need help finding people that are fellow vets that'll do shows like that can handle talking for 2 hours.
Yeah. Hit me up, dude.
Right, Gary, let me know, dude. When is this?
I stopped doing it when Adam wasn't able to do the show, commit to it. I just put it down and said I'll come back to this later.
Well,
it's for Wednesday afternoons and
Okay.
or evenings. I'm fine with either. For 2 hours talking about veteran shit.
Well, I know I mean this is my full-time job between Adam and between what I do on Rumble and everything else. This is my full-time job. Wednesdays are a little rough for me because I do a show at 6 p.m. But if you want to do something earlier with vet stuff, yeah, just let me know, man. Absolutely, let me know. I'm down.
Yeah, 68 Whiskey. Gary's book, amazing. 68 Whiskey Soldier Medic is, but I don't think they call them medics. I think they're medical specialists now because they're even more advanced. I mean, we did field surgery. I could do field surgery. In fact, we used to have this thing. We'd love to sit around and talk about what our favorite knots were, medical knots. But I think they changed the way it is, which is why it's no longer 91 and went to 68, is because they added something to it. And now today, most of your soldiers are basic medics. If you're infantry, up special forces, you've all got basic medical training, which is life-saving training. It's better than what they had when I was in.
And you got like I went through CLS, Combat Lifesaver School. I went through that, which is a week-long course. I mean, it's a crash course.
They didn't have that when I was
in.
They didn't have that when I was in. You had a basic 1-day course for regular soldiers, and that's not enough. You need to have like a week is enough. You can learn enough to save a human being.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, as a regular, so if you're not going through CLS, then you're not taught how to do an IV or anything, but you do learn that. Like you actually do perform IVs on each other in CLS course. So you do learn all that shit. What the fuck? Oh yeah, Venom Blade here. Yeah, Venom Blade is a veteran, combat Cav Scout. He's a cavalry scout. Maybe hit him up. Sounds like he's down to do it. Be okay to have him on
Venom Blade, friend me on Twitter. I'm going to put my thing in here.
Giggity.
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 I like doing those voices. Like, I'll just go into voices, and one of my favorites is Quagmire. Hey, Peter, does this look like a Q? How about now? Giggity. All right. I like doing Joe. Hey, Peter, it's Joe.
I love that the actor who did the voice actor of Joe.
Patrick Warburton.
I loved him as the Tick. Yes.
Yeah, I knew you were going there.
I loved him as a Tick.
Awesome as the Tick, dude.
When
that show got screwed so bad.
Oh, so bad. But when the new one came out, I hated it initially because I'm like, all I could think of was what was his name again?
Patrick Warburton.
But eventually the new guy fucking warmed up to me though. But Patrick Warburton was so much better.
That got canceled too.
Yeah, I know, and it ended up being really fucking good. I mean, the quality was good. The production value of the original Tick live action show was terrible, but it was still fucking funny as shit. Gary Nerdrotic said it that every iteration of the Tick was always good. I remember the fucking cartoon. I loved the cartoon as a kid, and then both iterations of the live action was also fucking good.
Mouse. It was Batman. You had American Made.
Yeah,
I hated that on the live action show. They changed the names. They renamed him to Batmanuel, and I forget what they named American Made. They gave her a different name, and I'm like, you guys should have stuck with what was in the comic.
Was it like Lady Liberty? I remember she always had like a torch, like Lady
Liberty.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Fucking Venom Blade. Go ahead and go, Gary. Make it happen. All right, Gary. Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for being here.
I salute you all.
I salute you as well. And I salute my producer
all
over
Benny
here.
Hill fans.
Yeah. but we're not going to salute like Gal does when she's talking about the pickle Hitler. Probable showing up here last minute as we're fucking getting ready to wrap up. Patrick Warburton was awesome.
Hey, it's Brahmable. I know Brahma.
Jesse, co-host with the most. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, I've got what do we got? What do we got going on? I've got the Bible study tomorrow. Obviously, if you guys want to know more stories about Gerry, come check out the replay over there on Rumble from our last Wednesday show. Gerry was on there the entire night, had some great stories, not only about his comic book, but also about his Hollywood. And there were stories that you guys missed over here that we enjoyed on the Wednesday night show. Tomorrow, like I said, I'll be working on the Bible study tomorrow at 2 p.m. More than likely. And then Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on Rumble every single day. I'm making content over here for Vets Talking as well. So please make sure when you guys see those videos go live, please leave a comment down below because all of that stuff helps out with the algorithm. And we just crossed 12,000 subscribers. That's fucking awesome. Shorts work, boys and girls. Don't anybody ever let you tell you otherwise. Shorts work, and then do other videos too. That stuff works out well. So yeah, we're doing great over here. Gerry, brother, always a good time to have you. Always a good time to have you.
I'm outspoken. I'll tell you that.
Well, and that's one of my favorite parts. Like, you've got great stories. You've been around the industry forever, and the idea of having you come here on our pop culture show was absolutely great. Having you on Wednesday night was awesome. So yeah, so definitely go check out that book and all that kind of nonsense. And other than that, yeah,
it's very pro-soldier, pro-American.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe if I'm feeling crazy and wild, I might end up playing some video games here in a little bit. But yes, please go get back Gerry's
I'm
comic.
gonna go play some Call of Duty after I take a poop.
Hey, there you go. There you go. That's my boy.
That's another one. I gotta get a poop sound effect. That's what I gotta do.
Oh yeah. So if you haven't already, I am doing a 24-hour stream next Wednesday. So if you haven't already, please come follow my Kick, come follow my Rumble. Because we're gonna do those next Friday. We're gonna do a 24-hour stream as soon as Comic Shop Talk is over, and we will finish off the stream. Shit, I don't have my Kick on here. But we'll finish off the stream on Vets Talking. So definitely come check us out next Friday night. We're gonna be at a 24-hour stream. It's gonna be a really good time. Probably have lots of special guests. We will be reviewing Rebel Moon. We're gonna do a watch along with Rebel Moon on Netflix, and then we'll be doing some Halo Master Chief afterwards. So yeah, it should be a good time. Very, very good time.
Awesome, dude. Appreciate the fuck out of you, man. And we are gonna do one final shot. I want to end the night with the final shot, especially because Gerry hasn't seen Dermy dance yet.
Oh yeah.
Cheers to all you motherfuckers. Thank you.
I can do the chunk.
Yeah.
From Goonies. That's the one thing that happens to a lot of us vets as we get older, because the Army teaches us to eat wrong.
And, yeah. They got all kinds of fucked up.
My girlfriends would always ask, like, why do you eat with your arm over your food and down close to your food? And I'm like going, you have 3 minutes to eat and 2 of them are already gone.
Hey, to all you, everyone who's complaining out there, horrible clip, lose it. No, fuck you. No, we're not losing that fucking clip. You know why? Especially because I want to get fresh reactions from every single fucking guest we have on, because I've had some amazing fucking reactions. So fuck y'all. That fucking clip is going nowhere. We're always gonna see fucking Dermy dance, and we're also gonna keep on enjoying the fuck out of this show. Remember, we're always back here. Everyone who's over there on Pop Culture Minefield, come over here and check out Vets Talk. Drop the G, and you'll find me
over here. Those of you that are subbed here, go over to my channel, sub over there. You'll hear some of the fucked up stories I tell, and on top of that, I am probably gonna stream while I game tonight. I mean, on the show, not like in the toilet.
That's right. Thank you, Jesse. Been dropping all the links. Everyone in the chat, go ahead and click on that. If you're rewatching this, the video descriptions below has all of Gary's fucking links down there. So do check it out. Thank you guys, everyone who's here on the panel. Thank you to everyone who was on here. Thank you for the super chats. Big Rob, you are fucking fired, dude. You said you're going to show up and you didn't. We even have another medic here and you weren't even here. Fuck you. And obviously, we still love Big Rob and everyone else. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you to the chat here on YouTube, over on Rumble. What's that?
Keith is here, my partner from Pop Culture Minefield. That's Keith.
What?
Keith, movie geek.
Oh, hey, what's up, Keith? Welcome, Keith. Well, you're showing up at the last minute, but appreciate you anyways, dude.
That's how he does on our shows, too. Shows up late.
Always shows up late. Thank you guys so much, everyone. Be sure to double tap that like and subscribe if you're new here. I appreciate the fuck out of it. Everyone out there, I love you so much. And remember to share this out there with everyone because you don't got to be a veteran to enjoy this content. Just don't get butthurt. You've been warned.